Flores Park can be an unpredictable city. But fluency doesn't mitigate its problems. In some ways, it amplifies them. This is why we're deployed. But we've seen better days.
Then why are we just now debriefing?
This mission is not complete.
I only know of her. Our lack of data collection is a problem.
Valdez, I'm aware of your investigative talents. Braxwell spoke highly of you, and that's why you're on this team. Local law enforcement handles itself very well. But there are those with abilities. Some believe themselves to be good. Others don't even attempt to act as if they are. Either way, we're involved. Not everyone will agree with our status. But that can be said for anything. May I remind you both, we're Alphacore, and failure is not what we do.
Hi, everyone. Welcome to Rip und. Seems to be a very kind of German vibe going on in the world right now. The Silverback, episode 5. Eric was poorly sick last week, but he's back in action again.
Unfortunately.
Well, fortunately for us.
Well, yeah, fortunately for us, unfortunately for me last week.
Yeah.
And it sucked, but we are back. And it does feel good to be back, by the way. I think this is one of my favorite parts of the week for sure. So a lot we've missed, a lot been going on in comics, all sorts of stuff that we'll be touching on for sure. But it does feel good to be back.
Yeah, I mean, since last time we did an episode, my Alphacore's arrived.
Hell yeah. Damn right.
So there's a question that probably needs to be asked of me.
Yeah, what's your favorite part is the golden question.
I don't know, I haven't read it.
Yeah. You don't read anything, as nobody does.
Actually, that's not fair. Hold on. Okay, I've read it.
There you go.
So
that's about as much as the Wikipedia wonders read anyway.
Yeah. Hold on.
You at least got
Captain Marvel? I know everything.
Yeah, it's your favorite character. Yeah.
Yeah. My favorite character was that blur that I went through after 0.3 seconds. Great book.
Shit.
But what'd you expect? Chuck fucking Dixon, baby.
Yeah, you can't go fucking wrong with that, can you?
The plan, I had a stream. I can't remember what stream it was, but it was a stream that I had to do. It was a stream I had starting in about 45 minutes at the time. And I just tweeted out, I'm going to do my stream. Then I'm going to go to the gym, come back. I'm going to read my Alphacore. And it's about 45 minutes or so before the stream. And I just thought, I'll just read a couple of pages, you know? I'll just read a couple of pages before the stream. I think it was the stream I was doing with the Soskers, actually. And by the time the stream started, I was halfway through the book. And then when the stream finished, I just finished off the rest of the book. It was like, it was that I loved it. I absolutely loved it.
Oh yeah,
Did not disappoint in an actual fact. It was really cool to fucking read something that you just like, God damn, you know?
Yeah. That's
we're missing this sort of thing in the industry right now.
Well, no, I mean, look, I obviously had no doubt in my mind. It was just too good of a team with Chuck and Joe Bennett. You know, and them being able to showcase what it is that they can do. Just a great team. They love each other as well. Work extremely well with each other. So I knew it was gonna be people were gonna love it. But to see the reactions and see people finally get it in hand and actually get to talk about their experience with it is awesome. You know, we got as many as we could that day one. You know, now we got our CGCs. A lot of those are going to go out, but a lot of, not everybody, but a lot of people, most, let's say that as far as our queue is concerned, got their readers' copies, or at least it's on the way, right? So, you know, we're hustling and bustling. We're working very hard to get them out because we want people to be able to read it, because it is a great experience. Just all together, you get some glimpse into, again, the Rippaverse and the city of Flores Park, and you know, getting to see it's a different animal, right? It's a different team. It's not me writing it. So it's a different approach, a different perspective. Nice little change of pace from ISOM, and you know, I'm glad people are loving it. I know they knew they were going to enjoy it, but to see people, the response that we've got so far has been just awesome, man. And we want people to keep it up, man. Do your reviews. Don't stop talking about it. We still have over a month left in this campaign, so just keep rocking and rolling. But you know, we really do appreciate each and everybody.
Well, there's stuff I want to discuss with it, but it's going to go to spoiler territory. So, whenever we're ready for the spoiler discussion,
okay.
I want to, you know, we're going to go in on that.
Yeah.
I was actually, I'm trying to, how can I say things without spoiling stuff? Well, I'll say what. First of all, I thought at one point, at one point I said to myself, you know, I've been very sort of complacent about Chuck Dixon writing this because this is Chuck fucking Dixon.
Yeah.
I've never had any sort of doubt whatsoever. And then when the books arrived and they're there in front of you, and you just about pick it up, and I'm just like, what if? Just what if? And like first like page, I was like, yeah.
That first page, that first spread.
Like, okay. Yeah, all right. This is already gonna fucking work, no problem.
Yeah. No, it looks good, man. It's Joe, man. Big shout out to Joe Bennett, man. Incredible. You know, penciler. He can be a, you know, all artists say this. The guys that ink his stuff, like not anybody can just ink his stuff. He's really, really good. Detailed guy. And to see those first couple of pages, definitely that first big spread.
That's all you're gonna see. That's all you're gonna see. That's all you're gonna see.
The first page there, and then there's a page after that is just insane there. But he's just so killer. He's just so good at what it is that he does, man. And you know, we're gonna keep working with him. This is the way that I approach this company. These guys that want to keep doing good work, I will keep giving them good work. So we'll have some announcements. Y'all already know Chuck's, you know, I'm gonna just keep throwing stuff his way, but there's some other stuff that we got in the coming down the pipeline as well, with Chuck and some other creatives. But man, Joe Bennett, man, just did such a killer job of adapting these characters that, some of you've seen some of them in like ISOM and whatnot, but you know, this is really the first kind of dive in of the individual members of the Rippaverse, or as far as, the Alphacore, and how they sit, as well as you know, some of the other ones like the Michaels and the Lillians of the world. So it's just I was getting those pages back, man. I had no worry in my mind. We did what we needed to do, touch up on it, edit, and just all around. And this is what, to me, all this shit is about. All around, this is the best, as far as most efficient campaign that we've had so far, from not just the creative stuff, but also with the fulfillment aspect of it all. and everything's going about as smooth can go, man. I mean, with our fully staffed warehouse team, everybody's rocking and rolling, and we're able to get this stuff out in a timely manner, man. It's not easy to get several thousands of packages out that quickly, but these guys are moving, man. It's a testament to them and how just good at the jobs that they are. And but to get the story in hand, and now people are able to just talk among themselves already. More theory talks and stuff happening already.
I got ideas.
Yeah, to Alphacore, man. So I love that. That's the fun part. That's what this is about. This is what the enthusiasm that the game is missing. We haven't seen it in a long time, right? And the fact that people are being as stoked as they are, that's what this is about. And we just want to keep delivering on that, man. We just want to keep it up.
Yeah, I mean, I got to give, never mind, Joe Bennett, Chuck Dixon, et al. I mean, the artwork was fantastic, and huge up to the creators. But I do want to give a big shout out to Brandon, Arrow, Kara, who just been absolutely killing it right now, getting stuff done, getting those orders out. Mine shipped. It was here the next fucking day.
That's crazy, man.
The next fucking day.
That's nuts,
so
man.
Massive thank you to the warehouse people for facilitating that for us, and I can't wait to get my CGCs because I want my slabs. I want my fucking slabs.
Yeah. You
don't have to answer this question.
Mm-hmm.
When you got your slabs back,
mm-hmm.
were there any 10s?
I don't think. I will say this. There were a lot of 9.9s.
Ooh.
Like a lot. Like usually 9.8 is usually going to be most of them are going to be 9.8, right?
9.8, 9.8, 9.6. Yeah.
Yeah. And 9.8, 9.6. But we got some 9.9s there. So there will be a lot of those out there in the wild.
Oh, okay.
As well.
You weren't holding those ones back. Okay.
Nah, we'll keep some for sure ourselves, but hey, that's our rule. Those guys that are able to get in early, we want to make sure that you're rewarded with getting those 9.9s if they're available. So,
10 is possible, Steve. 10 is gem mint.
Yeah,
and I own a gem mint.
Nice.
That's all I can. I can't say what. I won't say what. But I do own a 10, a gem mint. So yeah, it is possible. Very, very rare, because it essentially means there is 0 flaws anywhere. Yeah. So they are exceedingly rare. That's why I wanted to know, particularly with thousands and thousands of copies being sold. I just wanted to know, did any come back as a 10? Did any come back as a gem mint?
I mean, they're still going through them. We're still in that inspection phase, because we'll make sure we send back if there's damages so we can get some new ones as well. But I don't think that there were any, but they're 9.9s. Definitely with a signature series, man. That's 9.9 might as well be a 10 for the signature series stuff, because it's being signed. But yeah, we got quite a bit. It's a real testament to the print job of this go around. Was just it's the best print job that we've had. So
this is honest God, mate. This is a beautiful quality, mag. I had to ask when I got to that stream. I said I think it was the one I did with the Soskets, but when I got to that stream, I had to ask Kara. I think it was Kara. It's either Kara or Caro in the chat. I asked him how many pages this was.
Yeah,
because I just smashed through half of it. I thought I was like reading a floppy, and they're going to come back and go, oh, it's 48, 48 or 64 or something. Like 96. Right, it's 96. I'm halfway through the book. I've just absolutely demolished my way through half the book. And then, because the term page turner is that for a reason. And it was great. And it just got me hyped for more. I mean, God, I love you, Chuck. Really do.
He's awesome, man. He is so good, man, and his enthusiasm as well is infectious, because this is something that he's really behind. He actually just did another Ask Chuck Dixon, and he was talking about the Rippaverse. So he is like legitimately invested, and imagine that. You know, me being able to fucking a guy whose work that I've read.
Shows.
Oh yeah, most definitely.
You read it and it shows because
Yeah.
it's engrossing, and it can only be engrossing if somebody is into what they're writing.
Right. That's a fact.
And I was just gone. I needed to carry on reading it. It was fucking great.
Yeah, it does show him what it is that he's doing. He's not just treating this Rippaverse thing like it's another gig for him. This is something that he's like invested in, man, and it shows in the stories that he's writing, how he talks about it. It's just he's just actually enthusiastic about it. There's so many ideas that we're always. It's actually some stuff that I'll be looking at the end of this stream. That he sent over that I need to look over because it's just he's pitching these different ideas, and this is a guy that is really into this stuff, right? And the main people that benefit from that are the customers. Like you're getting the best of Chuck. Chuck is very much, he's been around the block, but he is very much in his prime.
Sure.
There's no way around that. He is writing. You read the story and you'll see like he's got it, man. He still got it. And for him to have a guy like that around this early on, I mean, you can't put a price on that at all. It's just so vital. It's so necessary, and it's going to really ensure our growth and trajectory, let's say, in the right direction, because he is so good at what it is that he does. Everybody here loves him, but you need an absolute fucking veteran like that that is around and knows what he is doing. It's funny. It's like somebody tweeted the other day, and I talked about this on the comeback streams or whatever, and I was like, guy was like, and he didn't mean any harm by it. Sure. But there was a guy that was like, oh man, would it be a bad thing if I said I liked this more than Isom? I was like, why the fuck would that be bad? Like,
no, I mean, I always said to you when I read Isom 1, my immediate reaction was, I want to know more about Alphacore.
Mm-hmm.
That was my initial reaction. I just like this dynamic, this group dynamic. I like group books.
Yeah.
And I just saw Alphacore, and I was like, because we had the whole conversation about, I didn't think I put them in enough, and I was like, oh no, you put them in.
Yeah. I remember.
Perfect.
Yep.
You need to just give them little tease. Same with Yaira. You just need that little tease. This is a fledgling universe you got here.
Right.
Isom's your baby.
Yep.
There's no denying that. Isom's your baby, and you're running with Isom. But you've always maintained that an audience is going to dictate what gets done.
Yeah.
So, I mean, that person saying, I mean, I wanted Alphacore. That's the one I wanted, the most first. But at the end of the day, you've got 3 books. One of them still in production out of the 3. Still, ticking away on the pre-orders. You've taken over 7 million between the 3 books, and Isom has brought in over 6 million of that. So it's not as if there's any hurt feelings. I don't.
Yeah, no, not even close. Like, ain't nothing wrong with that, man. Look, that's the point here. There was once upon a time when we did actually have a pull list. You go and you gravitate towards what you gravitate towards, right? You like what you like. Some may be very popular characters, some may be a little more obscure, or it's like a Punisher versus Spider-Man, right? It's different. Look, that's what I want with this company. The whole point is I want there to be something for everybody that's here. And if there is a character that you gravitate towards, ain't nothing wrong with that. Go for it. Go if you like. If you're like really, 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 really into Yaira or whatever versus Isom, because as a catalog grows, you're gonna start having things be released around the same period of time. And if you're like, hey, I can afford this, I really, really like this character, I'm gonna stick with this one, as opposed to another one, then it is what it is. Like, ain't nothing wrong with that. There's absolutely nothing wrong with that. And I think that a company like ourselves that prides itself on the whole universe dynamic, I think that's such a necessary requirement that you kind of have something for those different types of people. We're always entertaining different genres. This again is more police procedural. Isom was very much not that. Yaira is very much not that. All right, so you're gonna get a different book when you read either of those, a different feeling there. You know, it's just the approach, and that's a great thing because people are there's going to be something for folks, especially the latecomers, right? As we grow, there'll be people who get in next year, maybe 2 years from now, and there'll be a character for them. So I say, you know, like what you like. There'll be those diehards, kind of like what I was with Marvel as well as DC, where you're getting basically everything. But you're going to have those that gravitate towards what it is that is akin to the taste. And ain't nothing wrong with that. There's just absolutely nothing wrong with that. That's the point of the Rippaverse. That's why we are trying to create these different characters that are different. Like these characters aren't supposed to feel the same. Even though they're
definitely not.
Yeah, not even with the characters within Alphacore, right?
Yeah.
Even the characters, when that's one of the things that you learn is there's a different, like Braxwell is very different from Brian, right?
Well, I mean, this is a team dynamic, but Braxwell seems to be, I'm not giving anything away, but Braxwell seems to kind of be his own man in a team.
Yeah.
You know, he's sort of, you've got Ingrid and you've had Brian interacting a little bit more than Braxwell with them. And Braxwell's kind of been the man out in the field almost. And he hasn't had that much of a, there are things I could say.
Once we start getting spoiler talk, we'll for sure. But no, they're different. It's a different dynamic there. And it's because they are different individuals. And that's purposeful. Every character that I've created here, that was the point. I don't go into it thinking like, okay, I need another version of that character or a similar version of this character. Yeah. It's like, no, I want them to be able to stand on their own as unique characters, right? Because that may be up to speed for whoever that may be. I
got theories about Alphacore.
Yeah.
I got theories. I don't know if they're gonna, happen. But I got theories based off the first issue. Like I said, that's I could get into this. But yeah, I mean, you talk about gravitating towards characters. Two characters which weren't really on my radar from the first two books were Michael and Lillian.
Yeah,
you know, I know that some people have been like, oh, it's not like that. But in this book, I'm like, okay. And I think well, there's things, there's stuff. There's stuff and things.
Stuff there.
And afterwards I was sort of like, no, there's a lot more going on here. There's a lot more here, particularly with Michael.
Yeah,
I don't think we've seen who Michael really is.
Yeah, and
then it kind of got me very interested in sort of where those two are going to go. So it's like, but that's the beauty of Chuck fucking Dixon's writing, for Christ's sake. Everybody has a different voice.
Yes.
I thought Ingrid was fucking awesome in this.
Oh yeah.
Brian was great. Like I said, Braxwell was kind of doing his own thing, being his own sort of man. I don't want to do this. But the whole dynamic with the police. I think that's going somewhere. I think that's really going to go somewhere.
Oh yeah, and you see a lot of that. You see a lot of like what could happen. Your mind gets jogging. You see that it's not that black and white of a relationship.
Oh no, sir, no,
between
sir.
Them being a wing of the police force, and there's like we've talked about. And again, this isn't spoiler talk because we've already discussed this. And they want to be actual cops, right? You really get you as you see and convert.
They want to operate. Well, I mean, is it? I don't think is it a spoiler to say that Ingrid did go through the process.
Right? No, that's not at all. Not at all. That's what she's. Not
that I read the book.
Right. So you say, but you see with like a character like Ingrid, right? Like she's, she has her own level of expertise. I think the one common thing among all of them is that they want to be able to do their jobs. They want to be able to do their thing. And not everybody's on board with that.
No.
And what that actually means, right? It is you learn a lot about what that actually means. Look, there's a trio here, and they are all super powered, and they all work with. There's a wing of there are a wing, not mass vigilantes. They're a wing of the police force, local law enforcement in Flores Park Police, and you get a lot of actually what this city looks like, because that was when I'm creating this team, I was looking at it like, look, this is different, right? You don't see a whole lot of this stuff in comics in anyway, but also the fact that you don't see it, we need to really be precise with how we approach this. We got to be very precise, because the city is not going to look like just any other city, because they have that really important wing of the police force in Alphacore, and that completely changes the dynamic of what a city, let's say, that maybe has superpower beings, but let's say they're all mass vigilantes, right? You have authorized individuals that are work within the boundaries of the law, which you could say for better or worse, or whatever way that you want to put it. And a city like that looks different, and you see kind of how that could impact a city like that. So I can't wait for people to see some of the other stories even that we're going to be telling with just the city of Flores Park, knowing that a team like Alphacore is floating around in a fucking blimp, and they may appear. You can see everybody from villains to heroes to whatever are going to operate with that in mind. So that was a really fun thing that I was entertained with this book, but it's even more fun as our minds get jogging about some of the other types of characters that are not necessarily just within a Riververse, but are near or directly in a city like Flores Park. And you're always going to have in the back of your mind, like, well, is Alphacore around, or is this a place that they will pop up?
Wow. Is Alphacore allowed to be around?
There you go. Right. And that's for you guys that have not read the book, that is a big part of what it is that you learn when you read Alphacore, is when they are allowed because they have to operate within the boundaries of the law, but they are a wing of the Flores Park Police Department. So it's not like it's just complete free reign either, because they're tasked with dealing with specific types of threats. And you see that sort of stuff in action. You also see some of that conflict that may come out of that as you're reading the story. See, this is the type of stuff that, again, we're all always thinking about with our future stories. So, the fun thing about it, I mean, I could see where some people who don't give a shit about the characters it is that they write would have a very difficult time writing for the Rippaverse, because, like, if you can imagine picking up a story or picking up on a character, let's say that you are responsible or tasked to write, that Alphacore isn't a team you just can't consider. Like, you can't just say, hey, or you have to consider, let's word it like that, because you're in this city and everybody knows that they're there, and that has to be taken into consideration as you're writing out these characters, right? Like, what's going to happen. It doesn't mean that Alphacore needs to be each and every place, but there is a team that is specifically tasked for dealing with accept threats, and you're dealing with accepts. So if you're writing an accept, and look, Chuck Dixon's a fucking professional, right?
But what if you aren't? That's the thing, though. If you're not writing an accept,
what role do they have, or is it even easier for them to navigate that? Right. This is all the fun about this universe.
This is what's going around my head. You see, I'm sort of putting this all together myself, man.
Exactly. Like, would you deal with it versus would an accept specifically maybe try to conceal the fact that they're that, to avoid dealing with the conflict with Alphacore? Like, this is the type of that we get to entertain, man, and it's fun, man. Like, when I say the team here, creative team here, is having a fucking blast, man. Right now is man, it's just awesome. It's just a great feeling every day that we wake up. I'm blessed enough to be able to just create. And the fact that there's an audience that demands it from us as well, it's just, man, you can't fucking go wrong with that, man. But seeing the reception for Alphacore has been incredible, man. And my mind's already jogging about these sort of future things that we were working on.
Chat, if you haven't ordered it, pinned comment, go back it. You're in for a treat. If you have ordered it and you haven't got it yet, you're in for a fucking treat.
Oh yeah.
You are in for a treat. What I did like, I'd say what I just sort of had a little smile on my face with is how the animation did actually work out in the book.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
So that kind of gave me a smile when you get to certain points of the book and you're just
and
like,
you saw it.
Oh,
I was trying to tell people that. I was trying to tell people that. I was like, who everybody deems as Meth Gary. Like, that's not just a random guy, right? Like, that wasn't a guy that we just put in the fucking.
Meth Gary was great.
Oh yeah.
By the way, I did like Meth Gary. Very. I can't go into it. There was a lot of things which just aren't even hinted at in any of the animation or hinted at all. You just haven't mentioned certain things which do happen in the book.
Yeah.
Which was, Chuck Dixon putting that together was fucking fantastic. It was great. It's a fucking great book. Chuck Dixon's just a freaking legend.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, Meth Gary's good. Meth Gary's interesting. I can't say anymore because you've obviously seen a little bit of Meth Gary from the animation, but it plays a much bigger role.
Oh yeah,
within certain aspects of the book, and they're really good. But I can't say any more than that.
Yeah.
But yeah, look, I couldn't really ask for too much more. I really couldn't. For what I wanted from Alphacore, and the first sort of outing got from them, because again, I can't say things. Let's just say things didn't quite go the way I thought they would.
Yeah,
which is always a good thing, because we discussed that your writer needs to be ahead of the audience and not vice versa.
Yeah, for sure.
And there were certain preconceptions that I had going in, which were kind of turned on its head. Not in a subverted for a subverted sake.
Yeah.
You kind of go through them in the book and you're like, well, that makes sense.
Right.
That does actually make sense. And even though I kind of came at it from this angle, it makes a lot more sense that they do it from this angle. And then, where this story actually ended up, I was like, okay.
Yeah.
Because there's a lot of questions which get asked, because things could be used to push the story in one direction, or they could be used to push them in a completely different direction.
Absolutely.
Based off accepts, etc. And you just sort of wondering, where's Chuck gonna go with it? You know, where's he gonna? Because he could take it in a completely fucking different direction from any of that.
Yeah.
I was thrilled with the book, because I got all the I got the whole schmear package. We're seeing the first couple of covers, but look at these covers, man.
Oh man, look
Cover
at that. Jack Herbert, shout out.
And there's the foil. You see, you don't really get the foil when you're looking at a
you gotta see it. You gotta see it in person. I tell people this all the time. It's like, you gotta
look at those eyes. Look at those eyes. You see Michael's eyes. Baby.
You gotta see it in person. It just looks so good. Gold luminous. It just looks so good.
Geez,
Mark Evans, man. Holy shit. That was a sleeper one. I did not know that people were going to like that one as much as they did. And we already got Mark working on some other stuff. I'll throw that out there. So you are going to see him do some other characters as well. So be on the lookout for that. But yeah, it was just this was a project that, every project we walk away from it feeling really good about it. But, we really got to see all of our work in different avenues come to fruition with the release of Alphacore. So it's a different creative team. We get legitimized with the second property. We have Chuck Dixon and Joe Bidden on it, legendary people. We also get to see all of the processes and like the infrastructural changes it is that we made. We get to see them in action. So people are getting to see kind of our approach with like just from an efficiency perspective, like we new rates, right? We got now working, done some stuff FedEx, and it's cheaper. It's this, it's that. And I really walked away from this like, man, this is a good campaign. This is a good, solid ass campaign. And I'm so glad that people are able to like reap the benefits from it. And the fact that people are actually having fun with this damn thing is what it's about. So keep rocking and rolling. All the audience members out there, all the fans that are into this shit, man, just keep showing love. We appreciate you, man. And to ask the point, you're gonna be in for a treat if you have not got in on it already. This is everything that you if you always wanted to get in comics, this is a great time to get in. But if you have been a long time comic guy, you understand the direction of the industry. This for sure is going to be one of those that gives you a feeling of, oh shit, man, I almost forgot how good it felt to just get an intriguing story that I'm enthusiastic about, and that I really want to know more about. I want to learn more about these characters and who it is that they are. So you got to get in. It's a great time to get in for sure.
And then, and of course, because I've been introduced to the Oscars and reading No Restraints Play by them, which is what gave you the sort of confidence to get them in.
Absolutely.
And having read that for myself now, and oh Jesus Christ, that's fucking a great book. Yaira coming pretty much hot on the heels of Alphacore.
Oh, yeah.
Fucking this is getting well exciting now, man.
Oh yeah, it's big, man. I mean, between that as well as some of the other stuff it is that we got, like, I'm looking at my stuff right now. Like, we got projects in the work that aren't Yaira number one. We got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 stories, man. That are like in the works right now that are already starting pencil and ink. So there's some stuff that you don't even know about. You guys don't even know about that are going to be on the horizon. That you guys are going to.
I don't know anything, chat, by the way.
Yeah.
I don't. I know there are projects in the work. I have no idea what they are.
Yeah.
None. So I'm in as much as the dark as you are on this one. And
I can't wait for you guys to see some of that stuff. And, you get to see also the takes on other characters by some other guys. Like we know there's some unannounced Chuck Dixon projects. So there's some other non-Alphacore related material that's out there that you guys are going to love. You're going to thoroughly enjoy that stuff. But yeah, that's the way that I see it. When we have a success like that, like, I don't get comfortable. I don't like start like, we're gonna kick back and just kind of ride off into the sunset, and we'll get back around to creating books when we feel like it. I'm like, nah, bro, we got to get back to work. We have a demand. There's a demand for us. Our audience wants this shit. They've told us they want it with spending the money. So we need to get back to work. And that's been our approach. So we got immediately back to work. 2024 is going to be an insane year for us and beyond, really. But next year is going to be really, really special, as you're going to start to see books being released with a little more regularity, as well as some other stuff that we got up our sleeves with Riververse Studios and some other stuff. It's just, man, I really am in a great spot, man, right now. And the company is in a great spot. And we just want to give you all what it is that you want. And it's funny, as I'm sure we'll talk about here, with some of the retarded shit that's happening in comic books right now. I see that shit.
They're just telling on themselves. That's all.
Well, yeah, that's for sure. But, I see that stuff go down, and I'm like, well, I can at least say, and this company can say, that we are for sure being a part of this, a part of this solution, man. And where I once used to get very angry, now I'm like, I mean, if y'all just gonna keep doing stupid shit, go.
Well, I mean, look, you've got the Alphacore campaign going on right now. It doesn't officially end till the 20th of January.
Mm-hmm.
Without giving yourself away, which you already have, it's looking like Yaira's coming out for pre-order in February.
Give or take, yeah.
Give or take, maybe March, but give or take. But they're all thereabouts. So you're literally going from one book almost immediately into another book. You're coming out of Yaira, you're going into Magic Mike Barron's Gooding.
Oh man,
one shot after that.
Yeah.
So this is 3 books on about, and it's not as if Isom 2 finished that long ago before Alphacore came out for release. So this is 3 books almost back to back. Sure, Gooding is a one shot. The others are ongoing, or they will be added to, but you never know where Gooding will take you.
Yeah, true.
You just don't know how it's going to perform. You don't know, if it performs exceedingly well, then you're going to have to make some decisions about where that goes. Yeah,
ongoing with them or something like that. Yeah.
So and then of course we know you're pretty much halfway through Isom 3.
Yeah,
if not a little bit more,
more than half. On like we're like 90 or so pages in. We're doing some touch ups on some of the stuff, but yeah, Isom 3 is another one. Everybody wants to see how this concludes, how this arc, the ill-advised arc concludes. So yeah, man, that's fucking crazy when you look at it in that context of all this shit is being worked on and it's right around, it's on the horizon, man. Then look, we're gonna grow to the point to where it really doesn't matter what day you wake up. There'll be something new for you there in the store that you don't have, and maybe it's a merchandise item, maybe it's a book, whatever it may be, and that's what we want. Like all the shit, like for me, like this whole side, the wall you guys can't see now. When my camera used to be up here, I know everybody saw all the shit I had on my walls of the other characters. I want that shit to look like that's what I want Rippaverse to be for a lot of people.
Sure.
Right.
No,
I want that to be their little thing. Shout out. Rocking that. I want that to be a thing. So I understand that I have to get out more material in order for people to get into it like that. But we're very much moving in that direction. We're not going to bite off more than we can chew, but for sure we're going to treat ourselves like a legitimate publisher.
But that's the beauty of it, though. The beauty of it is just how crazy the snowball is actually going down the hill.
Yeah.
It's just picking up more and getting bigger and bigger. And sure, you're putting pressure on yourself, no doubt about that. Yeah. But this is the kind of pressure that you want to be putting on yourself. Mm-hmm. You don't want the pressure of, okay, that hasn't worked. Where can we go? What do we do? You've got the pressure of, well, this is working for us. This is working for us. This is working for us. Where do we take this? It's more of we need to get the resources together. We need to get the structure together for all of this. We need to get the talent.
Right.
Talent's a very important thing. I mean, you can hire from the main stream.
I can go get mad,
but you're gonna get you some dog shit. When you pay peanuts, mate, you get monkeys. You know what I mean? That's what's gonna happen.
Yeah.
And Max wouldn't know what to do with the money that she'd get from fucking Rippaverse, man.
That's for sure. She wouldn't have to use GoFundMe's.
Yeah.
Sure. To get her bills paid.
Yeah, it's getting the right people for the work. Chuck Dixon is 100% the right people for the job. Having read No Restraints play, the Soskas are 100%. I am really excited for that Yaira take.
Oh man, it's so good, man. It's so fucking good.
Because we literally going from a structural, governmental, procedural. In when I say procedural, I mean literally you got to follow the process. To operate. To a woman we know is going to have the ability to kill.
Yeah, a woman she's got some interesting things about her. She's a little more. That's why, for people that don't really understand why we went that route with her, that's why. I mean, definitely if you've read like a Black Widow, No Restraints play, this is a character that's right up their alley, right? Like, because she's rough around the edges, man. She is one of those. She will go rogue. Oh man, that book is so fucking good, man.
Oh, I managed to pick up I got the variant. Managed to pick up the variant.
Man. Fuck, man, those were good days, man. When I used to fucking wait for that every fucking week, man, it was so good.
Hey, I was sorry to cut you off, man, but I was trolling through your channel the other day,
yeah,
a couple of weeks back actually, and I saw the stream that you did with the
with them
Soskas
way back in the day.
yeah,
Yeah,
to discuss No Restraints play, and I was
Yeah.
just like, holy shit, because I wasn't watching you back then. You know, I don't think I knew you back then, because I think it was
That was a while
2019,
back.
2020, around there. So it was going back some. And so to see that, I was just kind of like, oh, hello.
Yeah.
That was a great, that was just a great watch. That was.
Yeah, we were talking, that was long before the Rippaverse was even conceptualized. Right.
Way before.
Yeah,
you were literally talking comics and pop culture and doing your politic thing, and he's singing, doing a lot. So that the Rippaverse wasn't even an idea then.
It's kind of crazy how everything came full circle then. Because like from that, we got really, really close. And then, next thing I know, I'm launching this company. And then I have this character that so many people are intrigued by. And I'm like, I need somebody to write this that isn't me. And holy shit, I was just glad they accepted it, because I know they got shit going on. I'm like,
oh yeah.
Hopefully they just they take it, and man, they were all in on it. They said, oh fucking no problem, and they did the character so much justice. They wanted to understand the professionals, just like Chuck, and they really wanted to understand who the character was. Shout out Dan Vaz. But they wanted to understand who the characters were, and it's still to this day it's like this, right? Even though they are writing, even Yaira too, right? For example, it's like they're still constantly, they'll text Jen or Sylvia, text me 2 a.m. or something, and then like, is this something that she would do? Right? Is this would Yaira do this? Right? If there's something that they have a question on, because it's not about, they recognize that it's not about them. Hell, it's not about me either, right? It's more of who the character is, right?
And we want to see with the character, yeah.
Right. That's what it's about. So the same could be said if I use the character that Chuck, had conceptualized, even though it's in the Rippaverse, I'd be like, hey, let's make sure that this is who this character is, right? And that's why the stories come out so great. And I love that, because reading something like Alphacore, right? This is the latest read. So you have a story like Alphacore, and that was the Alphacore. I read that damn book, and I'm like, this is who these characters are, right? I was like, I couldn't have wrote that fucking story. There's no fucking way I would have ever conceptualized that story. But that's who Brian is, right? Especially as a bit where that fluffs up, right? And I know it's fun. Well, let's say this for people that have read it. There's a spot where it hit the fan, right?
Yes,
that Brian is very much a part of.
Yes.
And I could pinpoint the actual conversation that Chuck and I had where we discussed something like that, like happening as far as who he is and his personality. And it just goes to show the attention to detail that he has, because he wants to understand these characters. You see this in all the stuff that he was writing throughout the 90s. It's the same thing. It's not about, and nobody feels that way. Like, this stuff isn't about us. Like, I don't go into these characters like, what would I do? Like, that's not any approach. The characters, I'm like, what? Okay, I created this character to have a specific personality. When faced with certain events or whatever it may be, they need to act in a certain way, or they would act in a certain way. Not about how I would if I was them in their position. It's what would that character do? And everybody here that's a writer wants to understand that. The same thing happened with emails and all the conversations back and forth between myself and Mike about Gooding, right?
Mm-hmm.
The same thing. It's the same exact thing. Like, professionals want to understand. I can imagine if I hired someone from the mainstream and I'd say, hey, I want you to do a book. These motherfuckers probably had a fucking full X amount of pages done, and we haven't even talked about who the fucking character was. They probably already had the shit wrote out, ready to write. Oh, here you go, man. I got you 60 pages, whatever it may be. Here it is. I'm like, wait a minute. We haven't even talked about who this character is. And I know you don't know,
like me.
Yeah, that's how that would be their approach. That's how they would do it.
I saw them all with the same voice, and they all were like me.
Yeah, and they all would have talked like they're fucking from California.
Yeah.
And it would be
oh my God, Ingrid, that's just like, what the WTF?
That's how Brian would talk.
That's how Brian speaks. Yes.
Yeah, that's exactly how I would talk. So, but yeah, that's the thing, man. These guys make it very easy here, and I appreciate them so much because they're true professionals, and they look out for the actual character, and they treat it with care. They don't treat it like it's just another gig. They treat them with care, and you see it. You see it when you read Alphacore. You see it when you read Yaira, and you'll especially see it when you read this Gooding book. I think this Gooding book, people gonna fuck. I'm seeing some of the pages come back of pencil and ink. We'll announce the artist soon enough, but I'm seeing some of these pages come back, and I'm like, fuck, man, it's just so fucking good, man. And yeah. To that point, because I don't think I had a chance to really talk about this. I want to say, and I know C. Andrew's in the chat, there's others in the chat as well. Fucking Kanan White and his addition to this fucking company. I don't know how we were fucking doing it before. I'm gonna be completely honest. Like, this guy has fucking elevated this damn company so much right off the rip with his artistic eye, not autistic, artistic eye, and he's elevating us so much, man. And I know the artists appreciate him because they're learning a lot from it. His work speaks for itself because people have seen it. He's killer. He's a phenomenal artist, but he's also a solid teacher, right? So I want to give a big shout out to him because, man, having a guy like that as your art director it's fucking incredible, man, because he gets to say, hey, change this up, change that up, and he's taking good books and he's turning them into great ones, man. So I want to give a personal shout out to him, man, because he's awesome.
So what's coming? Oh, never mind. It's not going to tell me.
Nah, I'm not.
Alphacore, over 11,000 individual purchases, nearly 11.5 individual purchases, over 19,000.
Yes, we're closing in
pushing
on
towards 20,000.
Damn, that's crazy. Fuck, man, that's fucking nuts. We did the math, by the way. I was looking at this because not Comicron, but ICV2 numbers came out not too long ago, and we were looking at where we stacked up against the competition in terms of the graphic novels, which is what they will consider this, right?
Yeah.
And first of all, it's not even close.
Of course it isn't.
Alphacore is the #1 graphic novel in the fucking country, and as far as for the month of November, and it's not even close, to be completely honest. As far as American one, it's ahead in the author graphic novels. It's well ahead on the superhero graphic novels. Our actual competition is manga, and even then, we're fucking third. We're third. The top three, still top three, right? If you include there's only one, a couple right behind. I can't remember if it was Jujutsu Kaisen or whoever it was, but we were right behind one. I think number one was like maybe 21,000, I think, and number two was 19. We're right there. We're like fucking right there. That's our true competition. That's our competition right there. Again, it just goes to show how special this is and the numbers that we're pushing here. This is unfucking precedented, man, and I don't take it lightly. This is something I take very, very serious. I understand that not everybody gets to be in a position like this, which is why we keep trying to up the quality, try to up the stakes, and have our work be reflective of a company that has fucking 3 back-to-back $1 million campaign.
I mean, I ain't taking anything away from you here. But isn't it just insane that somebody with the infrastructure of DC, Marvel, and the avenue that they've chosen to go down, it's
remarkable when you think about it, isn't it?
Mental. Like, mental.
And I guess it's a great time to segue into that, right? And as far as everybody knows what's happening right now, hashtag cancel pigs. They went after Mark because the industry, Mark Millar, because the industry went after this long time comic book shop owner, and he's talking about his experience. Mark actually talked with him. Mark also had a recent one talking about 3 other big retailers as well, and they're talking about some of the issues with the industry. And I think the industry's response, the mainstream guys' response, like fucking Donny Cates, their response it really shows the problems itself with the industry and that lack of humility I mean, it's not even a concession because it's just the reality is the reality, right? You don't really.
Well, somebody like Donny Cates. Donny Cates is trying to get himself back in.
Yeah,
because Donny Cates has been a naughty boy, haven't you, Donny? You've been a naughty boy, haven't you? At the parties, Donny. Very naughty boy. So Donny Cates is trying to get himself back in because he's now on the outside because he's been a naughty boy, haven't you, Donny? You don't want me to tell people about what a naughty boy you've been, do you, Donny? It's been a very naughty boy.
Yeah.
It's not Donny. So this is a lot of it is grandstanding and virtue signaling to their own people again.
Of course,
which is exactly what they do when they use the media. It's exactly par for the course here.
Mm-hmm.
And you'll probably remember, but remember when some people were taking issue with Dan's slot, telling people to fuck off, and they were saying, stop telling your customers to fuck off. And Dan and a few others were going, you're not our customers. The comic book shops are our customers, because obviously they're trying to play semantics and trying to play silly beggars when ultimately everyone knows they are your customers. But they're trying to do that. But now that a comic book shop owner, and he's been there for what, 20, 30 years?
30 years.
30 fucking years as a comic book shop owner saying, I can't sell this shit. And then, of course, they turn around and they say, well, he's just a homophobe or a bigot or a racist because he just doesn't like stories with... right. Here's the long and the short of it. Let's just say every book that's coming out is everybody's gay in it, which just so coincidentally happens to be the fucking case, by the way. But let's just say that's the case, right? You're pushing it to an audience of 3% of the populace. Then you've got to divide it by what percent of the 3% actually buy comics. Then you've got to divide it by what percent of the 3% that actually buy comics would be interested in that comic. So you're literally, as we've already had a chat on this channel, you're talking about tens of people by the time you get to that. So of course you're not going to be able to sell this shit because it's targeted towards tens of people. It's not targeted towards thousands, hundreds. If you're trying to be generous in some cases, you are dealing with tens of people per shop. You know, we're talking per shop. So you'd be lucky to get one person in to fucking buy an issue. So yes, when you have been stacking this and stacking it for years now in the industry, and you're putting book after book after book that might sell an issue here or there, yeah, you're not selling shit. You have to fall back and you have to stick your Funko Pops in, and you got to stick your mangas in, and you got to stick your anything else but fucking comics, because that's the thing which ain't fucking selling.
Yeah, that's a fact. And by the way, I know it's a little bit of a side note, but I did get confirmation because you mentioned this. There are a total of, again, that we're all together. Obviously, some of these aren't going to go out. Make no mistake.
Yeah,
5 total mint 10
gem mint. Not mint. Gem mint,
and it only is of one cover, and that's the foil cover C.
Oh.
So I just wanted to confirm that.
Put those in your safe, mate.
Yeah.
Put those in the safe.
That's the only one. That's the only one that made it. But they do float around. There's 5 of them total that are around of cover C. So I gotta say, some of. Obviously, we can't let every one of those. I mean, we gotta keep some of them.
Yeah.
I mean, we can't have all of those go out. But just wanted to float that information out.
Do you know what I think you should do with it? Golden ticket 1. Golden ticket one. Keep 4 back for yourself. You fucking earned that. You deserve to put those away for yourself. Maybe golden ticket just one. There's one gem mint.
Okay.
It goes somewhere.
It goes where it goes,
It
right?
goes where it goes.
Yeah.
It goes where it goes.
Yeah, Kara said
Maybe
Royale,
you take it. Maybe you walk the floor, the warehouse floor.
Yeah.
And when they're packing up the CGCs, C cover, and you just walk up to one person and you just go, "This is the C cover for this."
Yeah.
You don't know who's on the cover. You don't know who this is going to. It's a Willy Wonka golden ticket.
Yeah, I can see that working. I can see that working because
But you keep the other 4 back for yourself.
Yeah. All of them can't. All of those can't go out. Like who and because of who signed it. I didn't sign them, guys. This is Chuck
Dixon.
Chuck Dixon fucking signed them, man. Like fuck. So, but yeah. I know that was a little bit of a side note, but I just wanted to bring that up.
It's good.
But no, like looking at the state of the fucking industry and these idiot assholes who don't want to admit that it's in the state that it's in. I did a video, guys. If anybody wants to check that out, I think it was last year. I could be wrong, but I went through the data. Right, I went through the data myself. Let's go on an island with explosives. Collars
Battle Royale,
on,
baby. Battle Royale.
A true BR, baby. A true BR. I can see that. I guess someone said Squid Games for it. In the chat. Oh man, that could be good. But no, seriously, like, so I went through the numbers, and it's like it's irrefutable, right? It's not up for dispute. And I go through all of the nonsensical talking points as people lie to themselves and say that, well, comic books are booming. And I'm like, I go through all of those talking points. One thing is more specifically, and it's the easy way to identify it. You don't got to take my word for anything. Go pick any fucking date you want, any year you want. You can go to Comic-Con right now. The numbers are still live. Pick fucking anything you want. Any 2013, whatever, 2005, whatever. And you can compare that to the most recent numbers and you will see how far the unit sales, like you could just take the top 100 and you look at the individual units of each book has sold. It's not even fucking close. They have fallen off a cliff. So damn the money, even though the money, they tried to take credit for manga for that, but damn the money. Like, damn all that. If we're going by what matters, strictly unit sales, right? So that's going to tell you as best as you possibly can about the individual readers, right? Those numbers have declined on all titles across the fucking board, right? You'll have some successes, but even the successes, right? There are years now, which is, can you imagine this? Because this was never the case. There are years where the top selling comic won't hit 1 million comics. That was a fucking regular. Like these numbers, and Graham Nolan was talking about this not too long ago. Like you're looking at numbers that back in the gap would get you fucking canceled.
Oh yeah.
Right? That would get you if your book was doing these numbers, your book was done. The Marvel, DC, whoever was saying you off the fucking project, you're out of here. It's not selling. We're gonna have to get a new creative team, whatever have you. That's what they would do. Now they're considering those, like you'll see these numbers be at the top, right? These are underperforming by miles. And these idiot pieces of fucking shit, man, instead of being like, hey, maybe we're the problem, Dunny Cates. Instead of being like, maybe there's a problem here. And maybe we're just not as good as our predecessors were. Right? They collectively start to lash out at a comic book shop owner who's basically telling them, hey, and it's really mild. All he said was essentially like, hey, people don't want to see the author write themselves into these characters. They just want to see the actual characters, right? Knowing that he can't sell this shit that you guys are giving them. But
Massively controversial take.
Yeah, it's a fucking mild take. It's about as mild a fucking take as a take can be. And they treated it like he fucking was slapping people's grandmas or something like that.
Oh no, they took it like he was burying the gays and putting hoods on his head.
Yeah,
and tiki torches. That's the way they framed that.
Yeah, it was mild.
It's as if he hit a real raw nerve.
It's almost as if they know he's fucking right, but they don't want to accept it. That part hurts, don't it? Right?
Because that's the game. That is the grift. You know, grift is a word which is thrown around way too lackadaisical, but that is the grift in the mainstream. Is that there is no real talent out there. There's very sparse. And when true talent comes to the forefront, like when Mark Millar defended him, suddenly they all tuned on Mark.
Oh yeah, they turned on him quick, right? One from a legendary writer to now he's alt-right bigot, fucking, and he's always been right. Like that's what's so remarkable about this fucking shitty, fucking catty fucking industry is just how fucking quick a motherfucker these people would just turn on you just because you had a very mild fucking position. You will go from being an absolute fucking legend to now being everything fucking wrong with comics according to them, right? And I know, and you know, shout out to him because he's not been in a break-in. I know people got mad at him. Someone just brought it up in the chat. They got mad at him when he said ISOM was good. That fucking really pissed people off.
Oh, he got paid to say that.
Yeah. Apparently,
Eric paid him.
Yeah, it ain't a whole lot of people that have made more money than I have in comics. Mark's one of them. Let's just say that that has been able to make more money, considering deals that he is literally multi-million-dollar deals that he has made off of his properties that he's been able to sell off. Apparently, I've got that much money to where I'm able to buy off someone fucking richer than I am.
Didn't Mark say? Didn't he say yesterday? He said, "I'm not even making money off these comics.
No, he's not.
I'm just doing them for fucking. I'm just doing it for fun."
Yeah, he said he's doing it for fun. He said all the budget goes to the creatives, right? He already sold shit up. He ain't making no money off of that shit. But I bought him off. Apparently,
you bought him off.
Apparently, I was the one that bought. He's one of the few guys in comics that has fuck you money. He doesn't need me to help him out, right? By any means. If anything, he can help me. But yeah, they were already mad at him at that, and then of course him shedding a light on the industry because I believe Mark actually cares about it, right? I believe Mark actually cares about the company.
Very much so.
Right? I believe he genuinely cares about it. And look, if you do care about it, you want to see it be good and not this like disingenuous bullshit. Like not I'm talking about like he actually gives a fuck about it. And you got to be honest with it. And he's being honest with it. It's like, look, man, the comic book industry is in a bad state. There are some changes that need to happen, and sitting here walking around like your shit don't stink, which is what a lot of these comic book guys do, it's not going to help the problem. It's just going to make it worse because you're going in the wrong direction. And now all these fucking, I almost used the gamer word, but all of these people, all of these people will go around acting as if there's nothing fucking wrong with it, right? Everything's fine. They were lying to the public saying that everything was booming, right? Everything's great, even though it's like, don't believe your lying eyes, apparently, because I'm looking at these numbers and I'm like, how could you even fucking come to this conclusion? Oh, wait a minute, you're trying to take credit for something. And then these fuckers at Comic-Con are all in on it with the language that they're using to say, oh, well, look at from 2020, it's doubled in revenue or how much money. It's like, wait a minute. Can we be honest? Look at the shit in context according to your own numbers. 2020 was a fucking weird year. And now you see what's doubled was actually the graphic novels. Wait a minute. What percentage of the graphic novels are considered comics? Almost all of them. Are considered manga. Almost all of them. And it's like, wait a minute. So you just said, hey, this is mine now, and this is around representative of the industry, even though the people that are producing it are across the fucking way. Dishonest. Completely dishonest. But instead of analyzing it like, hey, man, there's some problems, let's fix it, they say, well, there's nothing wrong. Everybody else is wrong. All the customers that were saying they didn't want this ideological bullshit or the content problems where there's no enthusiasm, all those people were just alt-right racist bigots with hoods on and shit.
Well, this is my personal favorite tweet by Mark, because he's showing he knows exactly what the fuck is going on here. There is a really interesting book being written about this tiny network terrorizing pros these past few years. And I think it's really going to blow up when it's exposed. The Whisper Network.
That's what he's talking about, clearly.
That's what he's talking about. Clearly talking about your Alex DeCampi's, Heather Antos's, Kelly Sudaconics, Gail fucking Simone's, Mags's, all the fucking Whisper Network cancel pigs.
Yeah.
Who have been terrorizing, canceling all kinds of shit within the industry, got it living in fucking fear of them, which just shows how much of a pussy they are, because they should have fought back.
Yeah.
But yes, when it all starts coming out from, they can take people like me talking about it, but when they start getting pros like Mark Millar talking about it, and if he knows exactly what's going on with the fucking Whisper Network, I think I replied, "Oh yeah, don't whisper about it.
Yeah,
make it loud."
Yeah.
So yes, he knows exactly what's been going on. Yeah, T. Franklin, the whole fucking lot. Heidi McDonald, one of the most useless bints in comics. What the fuck have you ever done? Nothing.
I got caught up in some tweet, and someone was a thread, and someone was bringing up the fact that, hey, they have these other it's like she's a journalist supposedly, and I use that term fucking about as loose as one can fucking use it, talking about Heidi McDonald.
Looser than a wizard's sleeve, mate.
It's like, hey, a lot of these guys in these independent comic scenes, they're not doing anything, and they don't have anything for the comic shop, so they're just talking, and someone was talking about like our retailer portal. It's like Riververse has all this shit that you're asking for is right there, right? And the fact that you didn't know that, right, shows just how you're not a fucking journalist. Like, you're making claims about things and you don't even fucking know. You're not even bothering to do all the research, because really what happened is you've iced everybody out that isn't part of the fucking mainstream. That's it.
Yes.
That's it. Otherwise, comics beat, you fucking frauds. You would have been long covering what it is that we were fucking doing, because we're the ones that are coming up with the fucking solution. Damn, all that shit y'all bitching about. Y'all writing all these damn articles talking about Aftershock going under and heavy metal not being able to pay this person and that person. And here you got you got this one company, right, that has had fucking $3 million campaigns in the span of a year and a half, and you haven't said shit.
Back to
back. As in, we have not had a campaign that doesn't have $1 million, right? We don't have one. And you said jack fucking shit, right? Artists, all the things you were highlighting. My artists are being paid. Every one of them get paid competitively, and they get paid on time. All the gripes that you have talking about retailers and all that, we got the portals, we got all of that stuff. It's right there, and you say nothing.
I got to play them at their own game, Eric. I got to play them at their own game. You are a person of color.
Yeah, true.
you're a POC.
Yeah.
I know that you prefer to hire POTs, people of talent, but you're POC. You're everything they superficially want. Independent.
That's a good point. Yes.
Independent, self-made. You tick their fucking pathetic fucking racist boxes because they're just racist pigs.
Yeah.
That you do everything that they espouse and scream from the rooftops. We need this in comics. We need this in comics. But it's not what they want in comics at all. It's what they want is to control comics.
Right.
That's why they have a fucking Whisper Network. That's why they attack male creators. That's why they've tried to drag them down. That's why they've dragged a load of them out of the industry, forced them to go, fuck this shit, I'm out. And it's the talent which goes, because the talent says, I don't need this shit. Yeah. I don't need to fucking work for this fucking company to make me. My art will sell, my writing will sell, yada, 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 yada.
Yeah.
So what you're left with is a bunch of those fucking people who will claim, oh, we need this, that, and the other. But they don't.
Yeah.
It's all that's the grift. So when a comic shop owner, and again, somebody who's easy, I'm not trying to be cruel to that, easily targeted, middle-aged white dude, clearly wearing his heart on his sleeve, all the things I should know from the Starfield thing.
Yeah.
All the things that's so easy for them to go after. What if he was a fucking black disabled woman?
Yeah.
Then there wouldn't be so fucking vocal. But no, when it's a guy like that, easily attackable, very safe. Here we go again. We can just espouse the same old boring fucking lines that we have. When at the end of the day, it's just closing their fucking ranks together.
Yeah.
They're just protecting their own fucking backs.
Oh yeah.
If you want to do anything with the industry, you need somebody to go in there and fucking pencil down the whole fucking thing and sit down and get the fuck out of Dodge.
Yeah.
And then we'll make some phone calls based off who we want to get in.
Oh yeah,
we'll make some phone calls.
We'll bring back who we want to bring back, but everybody's got to fucking go.
Yeah,
it's got to. Period. You got to fucking take them out. Gut the whole fucking thing. That's the only answer. But yeah, these guys are full of shit. And the Riververse is an example of exactly like what it does. It highlights how full of shit they are in those narratives. It is that you brought up, right? And the fact that they don't. And again, I'm not going around crying about them not covering us. I'm just showing. I'm pointing this out that they're full of shit.
Yeah, it's the hypocrisy of it.
Yeah, bingo.
That's what it is. Yeah,
they're the ones that are full of shit, right? All of these fucking frauds. CBR, Comics Beat. You can even throw ICV2 in there, especially since you're supposed to be the one part of the industry that talks about the comic book, the business part of it, right? Oh, I don't know. It's probably worth saying something about the guys over here making fucking millions of dollars in comics, right? That you would think that would be, at least you would do that. They don't do none of that shit, right? And Dixon over there from the Bleeding Asshole. He said he's the one guy in the mainstream comic book industry that said something about it, but he thought it was a hit piece, right? So that's as good as we fucking get, right? No, that's his name, Dick Dixon.
Oh, Dick. Yeah, I know. Yeah.
Dick. His game was, if he didn't have
the Bleeding
his last
Asshole,
name, both his first and last name would be Dick. His name would be Dick. So it is Dick. I call him Dick Dixon because at least he has is John Stun. It's not actually John Stun, right? So, but he's so close to having Dick as his first and last fucking name. But nonetheless, he wrote a hit piece. All these guys are fucking frauds, and it ultimately comes down to protecting their fucking own bacon, and that's about it. That's all the shit is.
It's a mixture. I think absolutely 100% a mixture of that. It's also a mixture of the fact that they market on superficial traits. So when we had Tim Sheridan, when we were talking about Tim Sheridan the other week, and Tim was just like, buy my gay.
Yeah.
That was the whole spiel for your book was gay.
Yeah.
Let's stick it and show that there's a huge market, but which there isn't. No, that's what you want to sell things on. Ripverse isn't successful because the color of your fucking skin.
Oh yeah.
It's got nothing to do with that. And that goes against everything that they superficially tout for. No. We need representation this, representation that, representation in these areas. And at the end of the hilarity is, it doesn't fucking matter who's making it either for an audience, because an audience is just automatically going to pick it up if it's fucking good. So the industry is just getting more exposed. And the worst thing that they could have done was go after Mark, because A, Mark's made his fucking money.
Yeah.
He don't give a fuck. That guy. B, you ain't touching Mark Miller. You ain't touching him.
Nah.
The guy's too well connected. He's too good. He's too, he fucking knows his shit. He's smart. He's fucking razor smart. He knows the score. He knows what's going on. He's not somebody that can be fucking bullied or back down. He'll come onto any stream for anyone, and he'll talk about the comic industry because that's what he's passionate about. So now you've gone after a guy that can turn around and go, "Excuse me, excuse me, and fucking not and bitch slap the shit out of them right back into their little fucking holes.
Yeah.
And they don't know what the shit to do.
Yeah.
Because they thought they had him, and then he just comes out with the fucking zinger, cancel pigs. Cancel pigs, and that's it. Just absolutely annihilated them.
Yeah. It was beautiful. It was something to watch. And for me, it's like you think, well, let me say this. Because it came from Mark, it shows that they are really pledging allegiance to whatever ideological bullshit it is, right? And they're not deviating from that. Because it's one thing for me to say it, it's one thing for you to say it. But then when you start to get one of those guys who's very connected in their industry and he says it, and then they still lash out the way they lash out in the way that they do, it shows that narrative, they are married to that shit. And they're not deviating from it, which is why I say let it fucking go down. Let them go down with it. Like, if they're going to be that attached to it, you know, why would I even attempt to try to save them?
Oh, no, sir.
Yeah.
No, sir.
Like, what's the point? There's no reason for me.
They're like the Titanic. They've hit the fucking iceberg, and now they're looking for another fucking iceberg to run into.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know, the people with talent, you know, your Scott Snyders, Sean Gordon Murphys, people like that, people that can just walk away at a moment's notice, it ain't going to affect them. They've made money. They've made all their fucking money. They'll still make their money through crowdfunding, through selling art, through getting work elsewhere. It doesn't matter. They're the ones who've gone on, right, yeah, let's get on these fucking lifeboats.
Yeah.
While the others are turning themselves into, there's another fucking iceberg. Let's go.
Yeah. Yeah. Like, these guys are fucking idiots, man. And they just, like I said, looking at Donnie fucking Cates and all these fucking weirdos sit up there and lash out at a comic book shop owner. And I think that shows the degree of separation, right? Look, this has been one of the things I've been very, very critical of with the comic book industry, right? In that I think these creatives are incentivized to act the way that they are because they don't really answer to the customer, right? Because they're contracted, right? So at best, they may get a royalty. I mean, that's at fucking best. But for the most part, you know, you're contracted, you're getting your money, and then you're fucking done. And even then, it's not like, let's say they're working for obviously a publisher, whether it be Marvel or DC. Then the people that are buying it from the publisher is really a combination of the distributor and the retailer, right? And the retailer is the one trying to sell it to the customer, right? So they're so far removed from it that it's like they got their money. Like, so it's not like, because anybody that's rational will be like, well, this is a fucking stupid thing, but they're so far removed from it, which is why I think that independence, and look, I don't know what role that a lot of the comic shops will have on the other side of it, because their business model is going to have to fundamentally change if they want to last as well. But it just goes to show that degree of separation. Like, these guys are so disconnected where they get to tell the people that's actually, because again, we're not buying the book from Donny Cates.
No,
like, we're buying the book from the
but they
retailer.
think it's their industry.
They do think it's theirs, right? Even though we don't buy it from, but Donny Cates not selling you shit. Like, Marvel, even for that matter, if we want to get really technical, isn't selling you shit. The retailer's the one that's selling you, because by the time the retailer has it in hand, they already got their fucking money, right? Everybody's ate off of that. The distributor, the retailer, the distributor and the publisher, and obviously thus the contractors that are working for the publisher have already got their money, right? Now it's the retailer that's selling it to us, and this is who we were buying from every Wednesday or whatever at the local comic book shop. So this is why I do think that the industry would help itself. It will be really, really competitive, but I do think it will be an overall net positive if the economics caught up to the industry. Because then a guy like Donny Cates can't go around flapping his gums at motherfuckers like that. That are the ones selling his product. And I think the more people understand that, because your average Joe Blow comic guy of any age doesn't really understand how it works.
I got a friend here who can explain it real good. Real good. If you just indulge me for a second.
Yeah.
They can really explain the whole system.
No audio. No audio.
God damn it. Let me go again. Good friend.
Good friend of the channel.
Good friend. Here we go. Oh, big friend of the channel. Big friend of the channel. They're going to explain how it all comes together.
And if you don't like my politics, don't buy my book. Problem solved.
I think I tend to be pretty optimistic, but in this one I'm worried. Because stores are closing at a phenomenal rate.
Oh.
Independent comic sales are down. Mainstream comic sales are down, except for the top 3 or 5 books are up. And
yeah. And spoiler alert, it's all fucking down.
Everything's down. And they had everything to do with it. And look, I know this is where I start to deviate from some people, and I'm okay with that. And the reason why I say a lot of what it is that I say is because I'm not looking at what's ideal necessarily. I'm looking at what is. And the direct market setup was always retarded. I know people don't like me to say this because they look at it like, well, what role does the comic shop play in this whole new system that would be built if the direct market shit went out the window? And the question is, I don't fucking know. I'm okay with not knowing. But the fact that these people have gotten away with it as long as they have, not being able to pay creatives competitively, shitting on fucking fans, shitting on fucking customers, all that is a symptom of the fucking setup, right? In that you have again all those degrees of separation it is that I fucking just mentioned, and the creators don't know jack shit. They're disrespectful. They don't understand shit. And look, very much a part of the problem, which is why, look, I do want to be honest with it. I do think that there is 100% a role that the fucking comic shops have played, right, in it. Finally, there's people that are saying things, but y'all have gone along with this fucking charade for a very fucking long time, right? And that kind of did you in. So if the shit all changes and however people are starting to get their comics is adjusted, it's gonna look really, really different. I'm okay with it. Like I'm okay with it. That doesn't bother me. I do think the newsstand has changed a lot than in comparison to how it was when we were younger, right?
Sure.
Just because of the internet, right? It used to be one of those things. It was cheap. You get your shit. But now, for the most part, and I'm sure you will agree with me. Now, for the most part, people know what books they're gonna get before they show up at the comic shop. Not to say that there aren't folks that'll browse and see a cool cover and say blah, 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 whatever. But for the most part, just because you're being flooded with goddamn information, right? You know what's out that week, right? You knew you had an idea of what was out that week. That's because the concept of the newsstand has changed, right? Fundamentally. So I'd make the argument that there's a lot of middle folk in there taking money off the top. And that's why the economic setup doesn't make sense. Again, I did a video not too long ago going through that aspect of it. When you look at it, maybe once you could justify this current direct market setup, but I don't see how anybody rationally looks at it right now and says, yeah, that's the most efficient way to put out comic books. I think it's outdated. I think it's archaic. And I think it doesn't make any fucking sense whatsoever. When you look at, and it's funny because, people are looking at, hey, creatives, why aren't they getting paid? I'm like, bro, if you look at the current setup, there's not enough money to go around. I know people they don't like me to say that, but you think the publisher You think other publisher guys, when you sell one of those shots, I used to have like maybe one of these shit books that are around me. Now they're all put up. But you take any shit book, right? That's come out. It's $5. Marvel is not getting $5 every time that thing makes a sale. Marvel already got their money, and it was less than half of it. And these people are expecting to trying to pay. Go open up your average book right now. Open it up. Open up your average book right now and see the mountain of fucking names that are on the credits page. And you think all of them can eat off of that? No, it's impossible. Maybe if they cut out a lot of the middle folk, perhaps. But there's just simply not enough money to go around. And then you start to do your research and you find out, oh, well, shit. No wonder why Marvel was going to fucking go under. I mean, that was in our lifetime, guys.
Mm-hmm.
When Marvel's, the publication side of it almost went all the way fucking under. Like all the way. Like they were done. It was bankruptcy. We're talking like these guys were fucking out of there, right? It was, and you realize why. Okay, why did the rights get split up in the first place? It's because institutions found out it was far more valuable in TV. Marvel was far more valuable in TV and in like in merchandise, and far more valuable in movies than it was in the publication. None of this shit ever made any fucking sense. I was just the one that dared to ask the question. Like I was like, okay, I get why. I get that everybody does it, but why? Why? Just an economic question. Why?
From your perspective, though, you're also there's one thing that you're missing big time. You own the property.
True.
When a writer comes in, and even if they create a brand new character now, they're getting fucking diddly shit.
Nothing. True.
So there's no real incentive to do anything other than make a bunch of derivative characters over and over and over again.
True.
We've heard Graham and Chuck talking about how their royalty checks get shrunk and shrunk and shrunk and shrunk if they even fucking arrive.
Yeah.
You know, they seem to be arriving later and later and later. So there's no real incentive for any sort of creativity to really develop if the people who are creating or meant to be the creative minds and brains behind it aren't gonna get a cut from it. You own the IP, you own the characters, you pay your monies to your writer, to your artist, to your inkers, to your letterers, etc. You've got your editing in place already, and you fucking distribute.
That's the big one. I think
huge. Yeah, why DC and Marvel haven't been distributing their own product is insanity.
It blows my fucking mind, ass. It blows my fucking mind. That is one of the things that I don't understand. And nobody can make it make sense.
Why don't you?
That's the one thing that I don't fucking get. Marvel and DC, and most people don't know this, Marvel and DC does not, and they have not forever, distribute their own shit. It is illogical. It makes no fucking sense whatsoever in this day and age with this much level of connectivity. The fact that these fucking companies don't distribute this shit themselves. Instead, they push it off on someone else, some other company, whether it be Penguin Random House now, Diamond, or fucking Lunar. They rather give money to fucking middlemen. And I promise you guys, I've seen the fucking numbers. Trust me on that. They're not making more money by paying someone else to do it. They're not. There's no way that would make sense, because you think Lunar or Penguin Random House or Diamond, you think they're doing it for a fucking charity? No, they're gonna profit off of it. That's their business. Their business model is to do that. It makes no fucking sense whatsoever that they entrust other people to do it. But it does explain why there's not as much money to go around, right? Because they're giving it to someone else that they don't need to be giving it to, because instead of doing it themselves, they rather entrust it with other people. But these companies they're far bigger than mine, right? Far fucking bigger than mine. I'm able to do it, right? If anything, it should be the other way around. The smaller ones are going to have a little more difficulty. Not the two biggest goddamn comic book companies are the ones leading the charge on doing on having middlemen. That makes no fucking. It's illogical, guy. Like the more you look into it, the more you talk about it, especially. But the more you look into it, the more you will find this shit was on a house of cards, bro, and it made no sense whatsoever. It's just that everybody else was doing it, and then it caught on. And hell, there's even a reason why Diamond controls so much. Right? It wasn't just Diamond. Diamond was also gobbling up all these fucking other distribution companies over the years, which is why it effectively became the only one for a very long time. But none of it ever really made sense, right? And you think, especially considering direction that they're going in, you start to look at the numbers and you're like, well, wait a minute. How the fuck were they ever making money on this shit? And then you find out maybe they weren't. What? Maybe in pockets, right? There was a pocket of time in the 80s, let's say, and with Marvel, right? That era, Jim Shooter era, right? That's arguably the most successful era that they had ever had. Mm-hmm. It was always done in pockets, and even then, there was only certain people that were getting paid, able to actually thrive off of that and be rewarded for the fact that they were doing so well. But there's a reason why they all stem from these other fucking and I documented the history. If you guys want to check my go watch my previous video on that, of the parent companies it is that they've had over the years. And that's the only reason why they exist. And I also believe, this is my theory, that there are people that are within the industry that know that may be so spiteful enough to understand that they know, they wouldn't have ever admit it publicly, but they know that, guys, let's talk ideal. All this shit, these problems that I said that I've identified with comics. Let's say they come to the realization and everything fundamentally changes, right? You do understand that a lot of these guys aren't going to make it on the other side. There's no job for them. There's no demand. The only demand it is that they have is working and being tied to a company that has a parent company worth billions of dollars. Sure. Because in the event that went away, who's hiring them? Who the fuck is hiring in a competitive market? Who the fuck is hiring Mags? Just using that as
right. I don't want to sound cruel, but she's underqualified. Whatever it is, he's underqualified for fucking McDonald's. I wouldn't, if I was a manager of a McDonald's, I wouldn't hire them.
Yeah,
I wouldn't. Not on a hope in hell. But but we already know what's on the other side for Max. Begging for money on the internet.
That's a good point.
She's the DSP of fucking the DSP of fucking comic book creators.
Yeah.
Begging. If you're begging for money and you're meant to be in a fucking mainstream profession, get a job. Learn a trade.
Yeah.
Fuck learn to code. Learn a trade. Become a plumber, Mags.
Yeah.
An electrician. A sewage worker.
Trash. Do the trash. Something.
Nothing. They're complicated. but no, you're right. There is no work for 99. Like you would cherry pick who you would want.
True.
You know? And there would be some people who might be presenting in one manner right now, but as soon as the shit hits the fan, it all goes and be like, oh, thank fuck.
Oh, yeah.
Can we get back to being fucking normal? They can be rehabbed.
Right.
But ultimately, no. You're not hiring Gail fucking Simone. What was it? Massive Publishing hired Heidi McDonald? For what? Are you going to hire Heather Antos?
Oh, yeah. Heather, IDW. Good.
How's
that done?
Oh, the woman fails. Literally goes from fucking failing company to even failing a company to even failing a company.
Yeah. There's no room for him. And I think that part's scary to them because it's like, and that's what I think.
Why do you think they're closing ranks?
Yeah.
Why do you think they're closing ranks? They are petrified because if they know that somebody comes in to DC tomorrow, if they think that a Zaslav is going to walk in the publishing brand and go, fuck off.
Yeah.
They know they're done.
Yeah.
They know that if Jim fucking Lee finds his balls in somebody's fucking handbag one day and says to the people, hey, if you want this to be successful, we need to fucking clean these shit out.
Yeah.
They know it's done. They know it's fucking over.
It is.
And it's
All
not
that-
just DC,
all that
obviously Marvel as
grandstanding
well.
won't matter.
Yeah, they know that everything. Fucking Tim fucking Sweeney, whatever, fucking done.
Oh, Tim
Mate, you're
Theater,
done.
Yeah.
You wrote it's over. Donnie, put your fucking dick away, get off the table, and fuck off, you pink-haired fucking junkie. Go to rehab.
Yeah.
You know, they know they're done.
It's over with. It's 100% over with. It's 100%. And I think that's why they lash out the way that they do, because I think deep down, even if it's more subconsciously, I think they understand that. They understand that we need the institutions to exist in the capacity that they exist in, because we'd be fucking out of a job if it got competitive. If it got really competitive, where let's say the publishers that are able to exist and make money, right? And they're not dealing with daddy's money. There's no Warner, there's no fucking Disney, right? There's
Disney or what? Yeah, if they cut ties, it's done.
It's
they
done.
are done.
I know they understand that, because it's like, on the other side, who the fuck is bringing you on? When you have to handpick and cherry pick your talent, why on earth would you choose Heather Antos? You have no reason to do that. Like, that'd be stupid unless you want to go broke.
They can't even fucking edit.
Well, true.
You can't even do your fucking basic job. I wouldn't hire them to make coffee.
Yeah.
Sorry, that's a bit harsh. I wouldn't hire them to make milkshakes. Wouldn't hire them. Why? Why would I? But never mind what they can't do, because they can't do jack shit. Just what they are as an individual. Destructive poison.
Yeah.
Kelly Sue DeConnick, Gail Simone, Heidi McDonald. They're all fucking virulent poison.
Yeah.
They're cancerous to your industry.
Yeah. Oh, 100%. And we've seen it. I mean, we saw how fast it just went the opposite way. It happens quick, man. But yeah, that's my position on that. I just believe that some of them know deep down, if this shit goes away, right? And whatever that looks like, whether it be DC gets sold off the fucking Rippaverse or some shit, never happened. They sell it for nothing before they give it away to a motherfucker before they sold it to a person like me. But
Warner, if they shut it down, they take the licenses.
Yeah, exactly.
They take they shut the fucking publishing side down.
Publication's
but all
done,
the licenses stay put with
there,
them.
right? So they understand that if that happens, right, there's no job for them, because everybody else, like a Rippaverse, as an example, I have to look at everything that we do through a financial lens. I can't afford not to. I have to look at it. The creative stuff has to be looked at through the financial lens, and vice versa. It has to be looked at through the economics of it all. So you hand select, definitely creatively, right, which drives your stuff. There's a reason why I go get Mike Barron. There's a reason why I go get Chuck Dixon. There's a reason why I go get the Saskas. That's the best available fucking talent. And
look at the enthusiasm. Sorry, mate, but look at the enthusiasm that the Saskas have brought with them. And you look at that, and you look at the body of work, No Restraints Play. I can only say that from a comic perspective. You look at that, so you know what they can do. They come in fucking excited, ready. You put them in a power to get the Bible together and everything.
Mm-hmm.
And then you look at somebody like a Kelly McDonald, a fucking Kelly Sue DeConnick, or a Heidi McDonald, or a fucking Gail fucking Landwell Simone. Just absolute fucking clingers on the fucking ass of the industry. You bring nothing, you have given nothing, and you expect everything.
Oh yeah, amen on that. Amen on that. I mean, when people are looking at this through the economic lens, which is what would happen, that's the ideal. The ideal would be a very competitive market of publishers, both bigger and smaller, and they're going through the talent, right, and trying to decide who they're going to bring on. And when I have the option to instead, these are my options, right? And again, I have to be smart with who it is that we're bringing on, because there is no parent company here. Right? There's nobody to bail my ass out if I make a moronic economic decision. Right? I have to live with that, and it could wreck the company, right, or put it in a bad spot. Chuck Dixon, Kelly Sue DeConnick. Who the fuck does? I mean, 9 times out of 9, the publisher in that position is choosing that is dealing with his own money.
Mm-hmm.
They're choosing Chuck. That's just the bottom line. That's just what that's gonna look like. So all these guys who have been getting on whether it be with Whisper Networks and other gay shit, whatever it may be, whatever it may be, those guys in a competitive market, I just don't believe there's gonna be a lot of people that are gonna be itching to bring them on to do shit. There will be some artists. Right, I say this all the time about like Alex Ross. Alex Ross is one of the few guys in comics that can call his own fucking shot.
Amen.
Right, he can,
rightfully so.
Rightfully fucking so. He could call his whole shot, whatever the fuck he wants to charge. He gets to do that. He gets to say it. These guys don't command that. Hell, a lot of these guys, they have to face that harsh reality, and they see that when they have to go to like Comic-Cons and they don't make that much money, and they realize, well, wait a minute, you weren't the draw.
Yeah, I mean, look, Sean Gordon Murphy made over $1 million last year selling his art. Alex Ross speaks for himself. J. Scott Campbell. These people, they can walk away tomorrow and make bank.
Yeah,
without any doubt. They've also got their own art germ, Stanley Lau.
Oh yeah,
another one. Kelly Jones. Kelly Jones is doing some DC work. He's doing some DC covers and whatnot. But he's doing his Dracula with Matt Wagner again. Matt Wagner, writer and artist. They can do their own shit.
Yeah.
Walk away. Because they know their worth and they know their value.
Yeah.
Right. So they can. If they're presented with, can you do me a cover for $100? Now, if you're a mate,
potentially,
if you're a mate, they're like, dude, fuck off. I'll do your cover. I'm doing it because you're a mate, right? But if that is a business proposal, they laugh at. They don't even laugh at you because they don't even respond to you.
Yeah, you're not. Yeah, you're not. You
because they know their value. They know what they're worth.
Right.
Can you do a cover? I'm prepared to pay this much. Or if they say they go, great, okay, yeah, but this is my fee.
Yeah,
and then okay,
that's what calling your shots actually looks like. But these guys can't. They're under the moronic impression that they actually can, maybe under the delusion, but they can't actually call their fucking own shots. And I think that's what's so scary for people, because it's like, look, if the current economic setup completely fundamentally changes, the market gets really, really competitive, it's going to be slim pickings. Because we already know, I've brought this up a million times. Hell, even when we were buying comics, there's too many titles. There's way too many fucking titles, right? There's you get a book, right? The talent pool is fucked when there was a point in time, guys, that this was the setup. I'm gonna set the scene for you. A man that has never done anything never done anything publicly that is comic book related, even in their really own capacity, right? By the name, won a Harriet Beecher Stowe Award for social justice.
What does social justice mean?
That was about as much as they had as far as experience. And this person was in charge of two of Marvel's most prominent characters in Captain America and Black Panther. Right?
Oh, yeah, sorry. I know you.
That actually happened. And his name was Ta-Nehisi Coates.
Ta-Nehisi Coates.
Okay.
A man, by the way, who said that he
you had it coming.
He reveled at first responders dying.
They had it coming
on 9/11. Yeah,
basically. That's your talent pool. And On top of that, I throw you even your own nugget, another nugget here. Same person was writing his other 3 stories at the same time, give or take. Captain Marvel, we know the direction that was going in, but also you throw in Deadpool, and also a story and an ongoing series that should have been given to the lovely ladies that are now writing this character.
Mm-hmm.
And her name was Kelly Thompson.
Kelly Thompson.
So that in itself, you get these characters that are notable being wrote by people that probably had no fucking business being anywhere near that stuff, right? That's the talent pool right now, right? And with the amount of titles they can do that. And now, yeah, using that loosely, talent pool. But things change. Things. Let's assume that things get adjusted, and the pool has to shrink because there's not as many titles, and perfect world, all the publishers are dealing with their own money, being led by competent people, guys. And I don't think you're exaggerating when you say something like 99% of these people probably aren't going to be around. I don't think that's much of an exaggeration. They're not going to be around. These guys will be forced to get real jobs, working at maybe McDonald's. It's more admirable, I'd argue.
It's hard work.
Well, yeah, for sure.
It's honest work and it's hard work. That's why I said I wouldn't employ them.
Yeah, true.
I wouldn't employ them because number one, they don't know how to work hard.
True.
Number two, I wouldn't fucking trust them to start a lawsuit or some fucking bullshit.
Oh yeah. Oh, that's probably the best point. That's waiting to happen, and that's gonna have you out of even more money.
I wouldn't be alone in a room with any of these people.
Oh no, fuck no.
I'd have witnesses and a fucking lawyer stood next to me all the time.
Right, the entire time.
Yeah.
Right.
And the cameraman recording the whole thing.
Yeah.
From 5 angles.
Making sure. Yeah. That's the thing. Like when I look at it from that perspective, I guess I start to understand why they are as nasty and pieces of shit as they are, because they recognize that after this, there's nothing else. There's just nothing else. There's no room for you, bro.
Yeah, it's borrowed time. It is borrowed time. It's when is the guillotine gonna drop?
Yes.
Because when it drops, it's cutting your head right off.
Yes.
And that's it. It's fucking over. But on the positive side, fuck them.
Yeah.
I ain't shedding any tears for this.
True.
I would rather see DC get fucking completely reset. I'd pencils down, get rid of fucking everyone, bring in somebody that's actually gonna, bring in a Chuck Dixon-esque type of person who can structurally get it into order, bring on the talent, relaunch everything from fucking scratch.
Mm-hmm.
And by everything, Superman, Batman, Wonder Woman, and maybe Green Lantern, and maybe just go with 4 to 5 titles to start with.
Yeah.
Bring in somebody on a longer term contract. We want you to go for at least the first 50 issues with an option to go to 100, based off sales and performance.
Yeah.
Consistent artist, obviously, depending on time restraints, have a filler artist on the standby to do a couple of issues to allow them to move on to the next arc, whatever it is.
Mm-hmm.
2 covers maximum, main cover, and maybe 1 variant maximum.
Mm-hmm.
That would be how you do. But even then, say you do that. What does the first issue of these magazines sell? What does the first Batman 1, Superman 1? What do you reckon they would sell in the region of? Maybe 250?
I would say it would depend on how that house is cleaned up, because I can see that injecting some enthusiasm into the marketplace, but they would have to sell that, right? Whoever owns DC, again, we're talking ideal, right?
It is a fucking clean house.
They would need to lead with that. Like, in order for it to work, if like you come in like this is like what I do, right? Let's say perfect world, fucking, I don't know, Riververse comes, we get it, right? And now I got all DC properties, right? And I'm gonna have DC universe exist in its own world, whatever. I'm building an entire fucking marketing plan surrounding the fact that we just fucking cleaned the motherfucking house.
Okay, in which case then you get rid of the variant cover completely, and you would promote it on single covers, one cover.
Yeah, I can see that working. Yes, after we've led with everybody's, hey guys, I'm building a whole fucking campaign around this. Like, hey guys, we've cut there's nobody that was left.
Yeah,
everybody that's here, maybe there are some people that are now doing, and let's say we're doing Batman #1, we're resetting everything, and I got Chuck Dixon to do it, right?
Mm-hmm.
Who better fucking to do it? and I get Chuck Dixon to do it or something like that. After we've led with the fact that we have fucking canned everybody, everybody first acknowledging the problems, right? I built a whole campaign about it, just admitting to all the bullshit, saying this is what happened, this is why it was fucked, all that shit, and why we're making a vow to not do it. And I could see, having led with that, how something like this could inject life. And that first issue of whatever it is, Batman, does something that is fucking astronomical. But it would have to be that's the only way that I think that happens.
Okay. So we are talking if everything serendipitously falls into place, you get the right marketing in terms of people prick up their ears.
Yeah.
And say, oh, we're listening. We're going to be completely customer focused, customer driven. We're listening to your voice. We're listening to your feedback. We're bringing the characters back to their roots. We're not going to be. We are. You don't even have to say we're not going to do this. We're not going to do that. You just say we're just going to produce entertaining, fun stories that you get. You do all that. You get the talent on. You get the writer. You get the artist. You get the inker. You get the talent on.
Mm-hmm.
Serendipitously, the best case scenario, it injects that excitement into the industry. How many copies did Superman 75 sell? The Death is Superman.
Oh, well, that was. So wait a minute, you thinking that we're talking millions? You think?
No, that's just it. Superman 75 sells over 6 million copies.
Yeah.
Over multiple prints.
Right.
But it sells over 6 million. Even with everything serendipitously falling into place, you're going for a pop and you're desperately going to try to hold on. And that pop is not going to be 7 figures.
No way.
It's going to be 6 figures. And it's a matter of which in the 6 figures and how long you can hold on to those 6 figures for. Because if you are down under 6 figures again after issue 5, you really have to be thinking, where's any of this going to go? Because at the moment, floppies are selling. If they're selling 60,000, they're at the top,
which is insane, but that's true. If any floppy that sold 60, those are cancellation numbers back in the day.
Not even a question. You were getting books canceled for hundreds at 300,000.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's not good enough. Not good enough.
That's not. Oh man, and again, I think that you'd have to, if you're a business owner of one of those properties, whether it be Marvel or DC, and let's say again everything happened in a perfect world, you're going in that with that idea that some, I don't want to say irreparable, but there's a lot of damage that's been done, and you're trying to win back goodwill of the audience, right? And that's going to be hard. You know what I mean? And that's why I think the marketing kind of comes into it. That I don't think that a clean wipe works without the marketing. Because if they do it, that's what. And I would argue that I think that's more, unfortunately, realistic. That there would be, they do it in secrecy, or they wouldn't lead with it. Maybe not in secrecy. Maybe everybody knows there's some changes, but they wouldn't lead with it because that would force the industry itself to have to admit that they were wrong. That's what sucks.
Well, that's when an executive needs to make an executive decision.
Because you gotta have
your fucking egos ain't paying any bills.
Yeah, 100%. That's where an executive would have to come in and say, guys, this is the right thing to do. Fuck it. There's gonna be some feelings hurt, but this is the only way that we're turning this bitch around. But you're not turning it around by doing this shit in secrets. I think that there has to be complete acknowledgement. If DC wanted to win, for example, like, let's say Jim Lee found his nutsack somewhere, and then he, came out as a leader of this newer DC and said, hey, man, I'm sticking to art. We fucked up. I'm not in a position to lead because you're fucking not, Jim. No, I'm sticking to fucking making good art. We fucked up. I just think that type of stuff has to happen. But also on the other hand, I'm not delusional. I just don't, we're talking, this is the best case scenario. Best fucking case scenario, but a lot would have to go right for it to go. A lot would have to go right for it to go right.
Yes.
If this shit is gonna work. But again, the market is gonna become a lot more competitive if it looks like that.
But you've got to create a whole new market as well.
That's the challenge.
The thing. You have to create a new market.
You burned, and that's what makes it so difficult, man. Because and why the longer they hold it off, the worse they do it do themselves in for the future, because they're not in the good graces of the general customers that are around right now.
No.
And for even the newer and upcoming generation, they've arguably lost them. Right. So where's the appeal, I guess, is the question. And I don't know.
But from a customer perspective, because I'm a customer, not a creative, I'm a customer. I've spent more money on the Rippaverse this year than I have by a country mile on the mainstream.
Yeah.
The only things that I can remember purchasing from, let's say, the big two from DC Marvel, is I bought some of Kelly Jones's Detective Comics covers this year. Because it's Kelly fucking Jones.
Kelly Jones, yeah.
And Kelly Jones,
Alex Ross does something sick, you may consider it, right?
Yeah, if Alex Ross did a cover for Batman, I would buy the Alex Ross cover. Oh, yeah, sorry. I bought an Alex Ross Starfire cover.
Okay.
Because it was fucking Alex Ross and it was Starfire and it was fucking beautiful. So, and maybe I've picked up a couple of Art Germ covers and a couple of, oh God, what's the artist? I'm going to kill myself for not remembering. I'm not going to kill myself at all. I need to remember the name. But I think a couple of Catwoman and Power Girl covers, because they did them and they were great. But in total, let's just say maybe a couple of £100 throughout the course of the whole year. I spent $800 on the fucking all-in just for Alphacore.
Yeah, just for Alphacore, yeah.
Never mind the t-shirts I purchased. Never mind the Isom 2 stuff that I purchased, the covers for that, the slabs for that. So I'm well in excess of 4 figures this year just for the Rippaverse. Right? That's, again, this is no disrespect to you in the slightest, but that's money that DC and Marvel should be saying, we want that. We want that guy's money who's spending it on that other comic firm.
Yeah. Yeah.
But instead, they're calling us racists and sexists and homophobes and bigots. And Jim Lee has no balls.
Yeah.
Because we can't say the other side because we've got a fired head of Marvel who's still in a position of power because they don't get fired the way that people get fired nowadays. And Sam Aminoff.
Mm-hmm.
So Sam Aminoff's part of the problem. She's not even part of the solution. She's part of the fucking problem.
True.
There's no point in even going it from that side. But no, these are people who should be fighting for my business. But they're not, because they're fighting to keep their seat at the table. Because they know it's fucking numbered.
They know. So, well, yeah, that's what it ultimately boils down to. Everything that you say, they're fighting to keep their seat at the table, and it's it's an inevitable thing at this point. It's just a matter of when this shit comes collapsing. And this is why I would say, for you guys that are out there that are artists, maybe you are watching us in secrecy, especially. This is the time you get ahead of this shit. And some have. You've had a lot of people come out a little more outspoken on what's going on. Because the last guy you want to be is the guy that gets fucking blindsided. Because he kept himself under this delusion that is the current industry as it is. And then it starts to fundamentally change. And then you didn't have any contingency plan. I do believe a lot of y'all are in on it, but I do believe there's a lot of, especially artists, that are going on with it because they think that there's no other option. I'd advise that y'all get away from that fucking hive mind right now. And sure, it may cost you your job, but if you're really, really good at what it is you do, somebody's going to bring you on.
Well, that's it. If you're actually good, if you know your fucking worth, it's probably not going to affect you.
That's true.
It's probably not going to affect you. They will still happily get you to your covers or whatever it is that you're doing because they know that your covers will fucking sell.
Yeah.
So if let's just say somebody who isn't, I don't want to say names because I don't want to, jinx them or, but let's just say there's an artist out there right now who isn't doing a cover for the Rippaverse who would be good to do a cover for the Rippaverse. I think even if you approached them and said, would you do a cover? And if they said, yes, this is my fee. Or you say, this is what I'm prepared to pay you. And they go, well, okay.
Yeah.
Either or. And they do that. If they are legit, I don't think that's going to affect them at all.
No, not at all. Not at all. That they, and I'm guys like me, I'm going to pay you more than whatever the fuck you getting over there. This is why I was so hilarious. What's that dickhead's name? Mark Brooks. When he made that snide comment about like me paying him. And I'm like, you do understand there's not now nobody, and that includes fucking Alex Ross over there that I couldn't afford. You ain't making money like that, bro, over there anyway. Like definitely for your shit. Alex Ross may be commanding over a few thousand for every gig that he does. Mark Brooks, you ain't commanding that. You ain't commanding that at all, right? I can guarantee you that I pay better than whatever the fuck you getting over there. That's a fact. That's a fact of the fucking matter. They ain't giving y'all money like that. Y'all are just thankful that you're getting it at all. If you get it, hell, because it's gonna probably be a delay anyway, right? And if it works when you try to cash it, if you don't have the rate deposit or have it, fuck that works. But yeah, we'd pay better. I don't have middlemen. I'm the distributor, so there's nobody else I need to give money to, right? Off of the products it is that we outside of everybody that works for the company, right? Like that's it. Like the actual deal to make it functional, right? That's it. Outside of that, I don't owe nobody shit. So if you want to get paid, come over here, and you will. You will. That's the bottom line. But I just think that there's gonna be a lot. If they keep this shit up, man, there's gonna be a lot of talented people that are gonna be fucked because this shit's gonna come down. Like because what happened? We know. Look, I say Warner for example.
Oh, that's the most tenuous of all.
Right. That's the one where, like, again, we all know it's on a house of cards. What happens if Zaslav wakes up tomorrow and says publication that we're not making any money off of this? Is gone.
Could easily happen. Easily happen. That's the weakest link of all of them. I think Marvel are more secure with Disney, but because of course the movies, but the DC movies are not.
Right. So at best, the things that they can find to be profitable off of the DC brand is not publication. It's just not. Right. So what happens if Zaslav wakes up today and says, like, we really got to start pinching pennies here? We're done.
Yeah. I mean, what is DC bringing them in, bringing the money in? The only valuable thing at DC right now is the licenses. That's it.
The license. That's it. That's a good point. License and maybe merch, but license.
Yeah. Merch. Yeah. But attached to the license.
Even all that. Yeah. I don't know if they're
not the comic branch.
I don't know if they're. I don't even know what all they produce that isn't fucking licensing outside of the publication stuff. Because everything else usually they're just going to somebody else is paying them to produce.
And the big one is Batman, Superman. That's it.
Yeah.
You
So
know, they're your big license.
Yeah, that would probably hell. Their operations probably wouldn't even change that much, other than they cut off an unprofitable wing. That's a the more I think about it, the more realistic this could be. Where they just say, we're just going to license the shit. We'll hold on to it, and we're going to let McFarlane keep doing whatever it is that he's fucking doing.
Well, McFarlane is just coming to pretty much bail Hasbro out.
Yeah, I did see that.
McFarlane's giving Hasbro fucking work.
It's not even
Hasbro
the other way
are
around.
Cutting, was it 20% of their workforce?
Yeah, we talked about that yesterday. Yeah.
On top of people have already been laid off.
Yeah.
Why?
Rhode Island branch shutting down.
Because Star Wars ain't fucking selling shit.
Yeah.
Nothing is selling. The only things that look like they are profitable for Hasbro, because Magic the Gathering's fucked as well, is Transformers, G.I. Joe. That's
and even the G.I. Joe shit is like, right?
And the classified stuff's the only good stuff in there.
Yeah. So it's like that. I wouldn't be surprised. The more I think about it, the more reasonable, let's say, because I know they're not making any money off of those publications. So as they start to analyze this shit year to year, and they realize that, okay, we're spending X of millions of dollars to get the shit printed, and we're not getting a real return, I could very much see them saying, you know what? We're done. Like, publications are gone. We're just gonna license it. We'll figure it out. We'll have other people. It may be people licensing comics as well, but it wouldn't be them being us produced. So what happens to all those idiots over there? That's the guess of. You're done. You're out of a job.
Where are you getting hired? IDW.
Hell, by then, who knows if they're gonna be around?
Exactly. That was the joke.
Yeah, I mean,
that was the joke.
They might close down before.
They could close down any fucking day, any day, and that's not even hyperbolic, folks. If I woke up tomorrow and it said IDW said we're done,
I wouldn't be surprised at all.
Would not a surprise, no surprise.
Yeah, if you see their trajectory and how much money they fucking been losing every quarter, man, if they didn't have Last Ronin, I think for sure they'd be done. Last 100%. Ronin might be single-handedly carrying that fucking company right now.
Yeah, because Lock and Key fucked them. Well, it wasn't Lock and Key that fucked them. It was their desire to get onto Netflix. It was their desire to get onto the TV film side, which fucked them. Because they pretty much gave Netflix Lock and Key. Pretty much gave it.
Yeah.
And now what is it? Oh, it's done. It's over. 3 seasons done. Bye.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't. So yeah, they could. I don't know where the fuck these guys go. Marvel, maybe. A lot of those guys changed their musical chairs over there, but they can only bring on so many anyway.
Yeah, you can only have so many. Yeah.
So there's going to be a massive, just a bunch of guys that may have to, fill out McDonald's applications.
They're underqualified. They're underqualified.
So I don't know where you go there. Maybe go work for the government. That's the only inefficient. That's the other inefficient brand wing that would be able to hire you. That would hire motherfuckers that don't do shit and can lose money. So I wouldn't be surprised if there's the surplus of fucking guys that can't get hired, which is many of them, go work for the government, because that's the only other institution that could bring them on and operate at a loss.
Yeah, without the necessity for any talent or understanding what the fuck's going on.
The government's notorious for that.
Government's perfect for them.
Yeah, but outside of that, I there's no spot for these guys, man. There's and they it's gonna be ugly, bro. If that shit happens, I'm not saying I want it to. I would say
I'm absolutely saying I want it to. Never has there been such a hive of scum and villainy.
Oh man,
dude! The day pencils down are announced, I will laugh my cock off, and then I will super glue it back on and laugh it off again.
Yeah,
I will have zero. Look, I cannot have any sympathy for people who are responsible for their own demise.
That's fair.
I think so.
That's 100% fair. Yeah, I mean, looking at it from that perspective, that's fair. That's
These fair. Are all self-inflicted gunshot wounds.
Yes, every bit of it. You did it to yourselves.
None of it is the comic book shop's fault. None of it is the customer's fault.
Mm-hmm.
None of those are responsible for this. The people who are responsible are the people who are A, meant to be leading the companies, and B, the creatives who are creating what trash they're putting out right now.
Yeah.
Good luck.
That's fair. No, like 100%.
Work on your TED Talk.
No, that's I get it. I mean, it's just not a lot of money in the shit, man. And these guys have been in the rude awakening. The more we talk about this shit with or Discovery, whatever it is.
Dude, I've been reading Chuck Dixon books for over 30 years.
Mm-hmm.
I've been drooling over Graham Nolan artwork for over 30 years. I've been drooling over Kelly Jones artwork for over 30 years. I've never met, they say never meet your heroes. I've never met three lovely guys than those lot. They are absolutely amazing people, incredible people. And you tend to find that when you have legitimate talent and you're not strung up with insecurity and shit like that, because you believe in what you produce, you believe in what you've put out there, the body of work that you put out there, you can just be a human being. And they are wonderful, wonderful people.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely wonderful. There is a lot of other people I've met very insecure in what they put out, very insecure in what they do. And they are not so nice people because they're so hung up with their insecurities. They're so hung up that they don't either deserve their spot or they're not as good as they think they are. And it shines through in who they are.
Right.
And we get to see it every time somebody from the mainstream opens their fucking mouth. We get to see it when somebody who's working hard for 30 plus years in a comic book store says, I can't sell your shit.
Yeah.
Then you get all of the insecurities come flooding out because they know it's dog shit.
Yeah. Deep down.
I don't even think it's deep down. They just know it is. Either through them dialing it in and certainly not giving a fuck about the characters, the story, the history, none of that. Certainly not that. through to, yeah, we know this is just us projecting our own ideology onto this crap. Whichever one it is, they know that this ain't for people. This ain't for an audience other than themselves and their mates.
Yeah.
And by their mates, please don't stick a knife in my back and have me booted out the industry.
They're holding the guns to each other. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I'll put my gun down when you put yours down.
Yeah. It's a little Mexican standoffish for sure. 100%.
And one day, those probably one trigger's going to go off, and they're all going to go off.
Yeah. Oh yeah. They're waiting. They're waiting to fucking cancel each other. 100%. And again, I don't. That's part of the problem. I mean, these guys. I've said it a million times. You can't possibly produce your best work under those conditions anyway. So.
No, how can you? How can you possibly produce good work when you're living in an industry of fear, where you're constantly looking over your shoulder, watching your back? How on earth can you do that?
Yeah.
You don't. You fucking phone it in, you dial it in, you toe the line. It's not an environment conducive for creativity.
Not at all. Hell, not even close.
But you sure can turn a guy into a penis sucker. That'll be safe.
That's the safest bet.
What ideas have you got? I don't know. Get him to suck a dick. Done.
It's the Mag special. The Mag special. Didn't she make a tweet the other day saying that there was some opportunity that she had and she's trans somebody? I don't know how much of that was bullshit or how much it was like legit. I don't know ever with her, but she had some tweet that went out the other day where she was like, yeah, there's this other opportunity that came by, and yes, I am transing. Let me find it. Well, she has me fucking blocked, so I can't view her. I gotta find it. But she said something along those lines.
Yeah, I'm blocked. I also don't care. I saw the Superboy.
Well, no, it was something after that. It was something after that. This was like not too long ago. She didn't say who she was referring to, but she was basically saying that she had these opportunities. And she's so happy and stoked. And then she was like, yes, I am transing. Let me see. I'm gonna find it because now I'm.
Did they say I'm sticking a chick in it and making a layman trans?
Essentially, that's what she said. Give or take.
Give a Mag special.
Yeah, the Mag special for sure. And by the way, she had a lot to say about
the comic book shop owner by any chance.
Yeah. She had some things to say about that, of course, as well.
Of course. Did you reply with chill out, dude?
Man, I wish I could find that goddamn like trying to think of someone that I know
incognito window.
That's what I'm gonna have to do.
You do that. I'm gonna read some of these supers.
Yeah, do that. Yeah.
Because time is already ticking, man.
Holy shit!
I know.
Damn it, 2.5 hours in.
We just start talking. And it don't stop. Mr. Frost King has become a member. Mr. Frost King, thank you very much indeed. At the sorcerer level, get in nerds with a £2. Any advice for a first-time comic writer? Hell, Rip, and the Silverback. Ideas. They're good.
Well, I mean, the way that I see it is, first and foremost, you got to know the characters it is that you got to know the characters that you're utilizing, right? And by know them, I mean, like, don't go into starting a book. This is not my approach. Maybe some people will advise you differently, but for me, I think you have to know the characters before the the audience can learn them. So make sure that you're not going into writing a script having no idea other than the character looks a certain way and maybe one, maybe two kind of personality traits. You need to, this is why I think the universe Bible approach is most effective, but you need to know the character in and out, right? Before, if you're just starting off, you kind of may be unsure of your talent or whatever it may be. Learn who it is that you are writing, and make sure you know them back to front. It will allow you to, or let's say this, it will make it easier. It's not going to guarantee you a great story, but it will make it easier for you, and you're setting yourself up for success by ensuring that you know them beyond just, hey, this character looks this way, and that's about it. So if I can offer you any advice, is learn. It sounds obvious, but believe it or not, a lot of people, hey, I got this cool idea, and they have this awesome looking character, and then they just go into it, and it can make for a very mundane experience as far as the story. So learn the character through and through before you, if you're a first time guy, and then give it a shot to start writing out the script. So maybe put pen to pad, utilize the universe Bible setup. And even if you're not revealing all that in that first issue or whatever it is, just learn that character, because trust me, you can. It'll make it a lot easier for you.
DB with a £2. What kind of bacon would a cancelled pig make? Salted bacon.
Yeah.
10 racks. Helen with a $10 says, "Hey Ripper, I really wanted to get your comics, but wasn't in a place to contribute to your campaign back then. Will I be able to get your books after the campaign?" Yes.
All books are always available after the campaign. So if you just go to ripperverse.com, leftover stock from the campaigns of the printed like copies, whether it be an A, B, or whatever it is. Usually the most limited one is going to be the C. So that might not be available after campaign, but you will always be able to, even if it's just a
I think it's cover D that's becoming the
yeah, that's the mass print. So that will always be available. That right there, that as is holding up, will always be available, no matter when you come. So if it's months out after a campaign, that's fine. We're always going to have a cover D or a mass print, whatever that cover is. We're always going to have that available for you.
Oh, I just realized that the spine is also foil.
Oh yeah,
I never realized.
Spine's foil on that one, as well as the back cover. So that whole joint is
oh, I haven't had that out of the bag.
Yeah, the back covers are full as well. So yeah.
Truck driving gamer with a $10 Ripper. Oh my god, it's so good. No spoilers, but I love the line, I think that's meant to be, by Vasquez to Wilkins. Very fourth wall, I lolled. Braxwell is intriguing, and Brian, what a badass. Just loved it, man. Shout out to Chuck.
Shout out, Chuck. And yes, what a wonderful story it is that he wrote. Is this it? Yeah, by the way. Yeah, I think one of my social media guy, I think he found it. He found that tweet. So that's what it is. Okay.
Let's have a look at the savior of the mainstream comic book industry.
All right, let me I'm gonna actually put this in the private chat, because that's exactly what I was talking about. There it is. Okay. Check this out. This was 5 days ago.
That's long. Oh my. Okay, I got it. Let's have a look, shall we? I'm writing one of my all-time favorite IPs.
Her getting on the book probably was the first time she fucking heard of whoever it is that she's fucking doing.
Yes. Dropping next year. And I wish so hard I could tell you it's an incredibly unexpected license and they're letting me break and rebuild it. Oh, you got the first bit right. They're letting me break it. Yes, I transed a beloved character. No backsies. That's funny because when you get your job taken away from you, there'll be no backsies for you either. Wonderful. Just such creativity.
Yeah.
Such creativity. Yeah.
So apparently she's still getting work. I mean, it hasn't stopped her from still needing money. But apparently she is getting the opportunity to.
Here we go. Or here's a thought. Stop changing established characters into something they're not and just create new characters who are trans. As a trans woman, I'm sick of this happening in media. No.
Because she's not doing it for the audience.
No.
It's
No.
her own ego.
Yeah. Oh my god, I can't wait to say the character. Yeah, you don't buy comics.
Yeah.
You can because you don't buy comics. You download them from Pirate Bay.
Oh yeah, 100%.
Will it be cancelled in short order? How dare you? It will be a mini series, and that's what it was always intended to be. I totally can't wait for the eBaying and GoFundMe that's bound to follow.
That's a good one.
Oh man, Garfield, please be Garfield.
That's got to be, again, like we talked about this obviously with the Zack Snyder stuff. It's just such a momentum killer, man. I just don't understand the.
Oh well, I mean, remember they were handpicked by Zack Snyder's management team.
Yeah, man.
Sorry, I mean by Zack Snyder, handpicked. Zack Snyder went, "Hey, I read everything that Versaggio chap does. I'm gonna get them on board to wreck my franchise." And it had nothing to do with, well, I'm wishing to stay in the mainstream. I don't want to lose my jobs. How do we rehab my image? Easy. We get you the doggest of shittest people possible that is right for the mainstream media optics that we push. Will it sell me any copy? No.
Sale.
Not one.
Sale. That's what sale. Question.
Not one. None. Congratulations, Mags. I hope it works out for you. I'm sure it will.
Oh my god. That
I'm sure it will. I'm sure it will. No take backsies, though. Come on now. No take backsies. Ferio, God of Rage with a $10. Glad you're feeling better, Eric. Can't wait for my Alphacore.
Yeah.
As glad you're alive. Well, this is AI as. This is an AI. And you both make my week better. Feels like talking about shit I love with friends. Much love to you both. Thank you, man. I started reading the Moon Knight, by the way. I've started to read it.
What so is that?
I got the that one. I was told to get
okay. Yeah. Okay.
So that's what I'm on. Yeah, still chuffed with that. Very happy that I managed to AT with a 20 Norwegian says my favorite part was Gary cameo, page 13, third panel. Right, I'm gonna see if you're a fucking real person or a bullshitter. AT. I'm fucking because I got it right here, page 13. Oh, they're not numbered, are they? God damn it, they were. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. I think it's gonna be right, by the way. 10, 11, 12, 13-ish. Maybe. Okay, I'm going to give you the benefit of the doubt with that 80. I'll give you the benefit of the doubt. I'm not sure. I think it should be page 11, third panel, but...
There you go.
Okay, you passed the test of not reading the book. Defendo 99 with a $10. My favorite part of Alphacore was when Eric told us we're getting Alphacore 2.
Yes, that is going to happen. I already got me and Chuck have been talking about what's going to happen in that. And there's another story that is going to be told that's going to tie into that issue that I think a lot of people are going to be stoked about.
Okay, that could go. That could having not read it, that could go several ways.
Yeah.
Okay. Cool. Yeah. I mean, there's okay. I can't really go into it.
Yeah.
Back an hour with a $10 says, I got my order this week. I love the Ingrid Valdez crew neck sweatshirt.
Oh man, that damn thing feels
so
good.
comfortable, man.
I wear it. I wear it so much, man.
I actually think I'm a size too big now.
Yeah. Mine was big too. Mine's the one that I had was pretty big.
I think I need to go with a. I mean, are these only part from the camp? I can get them through the campaign though, can't I?
Yeah.
Can we have more colors? Is that a race thing?
What do you mean, you people?
Can we have more colors? What? What did you? And characters, Alphacore. I think there's a pretty good group of characters for a first book.
Yeah, I think
in terms of there's a lot of different characters, not necessarily the color of the skin. But there's a lot of quite a lot of balls to juggle that episode, that issue.
Yeah. But no, I mean, I'm all for doing different cool merchandise stuff. I will say there is a off-colored one that's like merchandise item that will be available for the Yaira campaign, so it'll be on like one that we have not done. So be on the lookout for that once it gets here. So yeah.
Caffeinated Wolf with a $5 says Alphacore is a fast and great read. I would know. I read it 37 times, no joke, while editing it.
Yeah,
96 pages, and I was breezing through it.
Yeah, he read it. He was really from an editorial perspective. This is our best one yet as well. Obviously, having Andrew come over and help with that was an obvious. It was a no-brainer. He's doing such a good job.
Really good eye. No, I can't. Can't do it. Gonna have to get it.
Gotta get it.
Thank you, dude. Grey Man became a member, and then Grey Man gifted a membership to the stream. Thank you, sir. One of my Swiss friends there. Joe Music 931 with a $5. Put some respect on Wilkins' name. Nice little arc with Wilkins.
Mm-hmm.
Say no more.
Yeah.
But there's actually, I'm not going into the Wilkins storyline, but it was interesting with Wilkins how I could see how you could read different things into it if you wanted to.
Mm-hmm.
If you were so inclined to do so, you could read multiple, because it's in, when somebody leaves things open for interpretation, that's what happens, I guess. The Shadowling with a £10 says, while I loved Isom 2 and liked Bloodruth as a character, but the world she lived in didn't seem to sync with the rest of the story. Different tones of story between street level and supernatural.
That was not done by accident.
That
was not done by accident.
If Monsieur July, if there happened to be like a Bloodruth one shot or something like that, if Kelly Jones ain't doing a cover on.
Yeah, I'm game. I'm already game for that.
If you need, I mean, I'm just saying.
Yeah. There's I'm down. Let's just say that.
But you had to. I mean, obviously, dude, absolutely entitled to your own opinion. Bought your book, have you entitled to your own opinion. What I would just say to that is, though, maybe sometimes people, are square pegs in round holes for what's going on. But when they get put into their story, like Alphacore, we saw them for a snippet in Item 1, which I didn't read. And yet I was just intrigued enough because of sort of the element which they fit in.
Mm-hmm.
Now, did they fit in per se to the story that was being told in Item 1? No. But when you read Alphacore and you see how they are meant to fit in with Flores Park, then it puts a different perspective on. So,
yeah.
I argue things like that when, let's say, Zatanna turns up in Batman. Is she the right tone for that? Well, I would argue completely differently. Is when Superman comes up with anyone who's from a supernatural background, it doesn't mesh with Superman. But there are reasons why they do that, because Superman's susceptible to magic and stuff like that. Mm-hmm. So there's reasons why they have that. So I would just say let's see where it goes.
Yeah.
CJ with a $5 says, with the struggles of local comic stores and the success of a Rippaverse, why aren't all retailers blowing up Eric's phone to load up their shelves? Maybe they are.
I mean, the ones that have, they know we push units, so they know that if you want to make some money, you buy Rippaverse shit. So
there is a portal on the there's a portal for you.
It is right there for
them. But I, without trying to be cruel, but I can, because I'm not employed by Rippaverse or anything like that. So I can say what I want to fucking say. It's not Eric's job to save comic stores. It's not his job to do that. You want to help. You need to help yourself. So if they do want to sell some books, I know a guy that's shifting some. And if they don't want to sell books, unfortunately, you get to a position that comic store owner for 30 years got to. He can't sell this shit. Now, maybe he needs to have a chat with Eric. Maybe you should reach out and say, hey, do you want a book that you can sell? But it's not, unfortunately, it's not Eric's job to save comic book stores. They got to save themselves. But I hear what you're trying to say, bud. I certainly hear what you're trying to say. But it's not Eric's responsibility. He's got other shit to do. Aitken with an 8 Australian. I can't wait until discussions in a couple of issues. Your stories have an addictive intrigue. I can't wait for more.
Appreciate that, man. Thank you.
Yeah, reading Alphacore with the characters that are involved. I need to go back and reread, because I haven't read it anyway. Item 1 and then reread Item 2, because I need to go back and get all this interconnected tissue, not just with Alphacore, not with just the little snippets and the cameo. By the way, mate, I fucking saw that Yaira cameo in Item 2.
You did,
but I didn't say anything because I didn't want to, just in case. And then somebody posts, and then you're like, oh, and I'm like, oh.
Nah.
But particularly with Gooding, that's one of the main reasons I want to go back and read Item 1 is Gooding and how he fits into things which are going on. But yes, I'm really stoked for Yaira now. Really stoked for Yaira, and
it's gonna be so good, man.
The sort of change in tone that's going to bring. CD Beckle 2 with a $20. Thank you. Says, hello, gentlemen. I received I think that's just meant to be. I received my Alphacore Tuesday night. My 10-year-old son waited for me to come home from work. We opened it. We read it together. Nice.
Hell yeah, that's what it's
One
about.
of the best nights of my life. Thank you. That's awesome, man.
Hell yeah.
Hometown Hero with a $5 says, learning about Fire Guy's backstory has intrigued me. Comes off a bit comically, but you realize the potential for this dude to be badass in high. I don't know if I can't say it because it's a spoiler, but there's something I was interested about this guy. And I don't know if it's going to be explored or not, but there was something about him.
Okay.
Which I could say to you after the show. Crimson Shadow with a £2 says, ordered my copy just now. Looking forward to it.
Hell yeah.
Good man. Star Trekker 58's been a member for 42 months. I feel sorry for the poor piggies being associated with the scum of comics. I got Item 1 and 2, and my Alphacore is on the way. Thanks for your hard work.
Hell yeah. I appreciate you. It'll be there soon.
Don't waste your pity on them, mate. Don't waste your pity on them. Magnum Norse with a $20 says, the true test is, will people do what they do even after the money dries up? These people will always thrive because they hold the line and never give in. I don't know where they go. Where does Max go when that all falls apart? The morgue? I mean, I don't know. They ain't gonna get fucking get picked up by fucking Netflix or somebody. Oh, you fuck out of here.
Nah. That ain't happening.
Dan Vask gifted 20 memberships to the stream. Thank you, Dan. Your Brazilian bucks will go into Mags Versacio's GoFundMe next month when they're begging for money. Bruce Flash has been a member for 7 months, and then Bruce gifted a membership to the stream as well. Thank you, Bruce. Thorts with a $10 says, as just said the same thing I've been thinking as an American comic book normie. Marvel and DC are gonna have to start the stories over because there's no continuity. That's what I think. They've got to reset the whole fucking thing if they degenerate any interest in them.
Yeah, I can see that.
Aurora Uplinks with a 11-month membership. Thank you. Home Toast with a $10 says, Alphacore was awesome. Super stoked about Yaira. It would be really cool if we could get a Blood Ruth comic. Congrats on another successful pre-order campaign.
Appreciate that. And maybe we got plans with Blood Ruth. Let's just say that. We got plans.
Wicked Plumber gifting 10 memberships to the stream. Wicked Plumber, thank you.
Shout out.
See you. Thank you. Head Case Laboratory with a $2. I really do love the villains plus the artwork. It's legit. It's a legit fucking great book is Alphacore.
Fucking man, Joe is just.
I'll let you into a secret. It's Chuck fucking Dixon, baby.
True. That is true.
Dixon, man.
Can't go wrong with that.
No. David Harvey gifting 5 memberships to the stream. David, thank you, man. Appreciate you, David. Vito Prashad with a $5 says let's move on. That's what he says. UM536 Vids with a $5 says, I just got my Alphacore delivered. Reading it when I get home. In for a treat.
Shout out.
We're in for a treat.
Hell yeah.
John Platt. I think I've missed something, by the way. Hold on. Let me just quickly have a look. Yeah, Juggernuggets. It didn't come up. Juggernauts gifting 20 memberships to the stream. Thank you. My thing's jumped on me. Sorry, folks. Some of this is showing in StreamYard and some of it isn't. So let me just go and see if I can grab a couple more. Douche. We had that. John Platt. Ben Insider with a $5. Oh man, I love Ben Insider. Says I think it would be fun if the Silverback was a fictional character within the Rippaverse. It'd be nice nod to those who know, but not in your face. Can't possibly comment on anything like that. That's nonsense. Scorpio04 with a $5. As I think you and I might be on the same page about Michael Cooper. Too bad I can't say anymore. Michael Cooper. Duh. Yeah, I think there's something a lot bigger with Michael. I think there's something a lot bigger with that guy. And I've got reasons. I got good reasons. But that's all I can say, because Eric ain't gonna tell me shit, and I ain't gonna want him to tell me shit. So it kind of works both ways. Lower lips liquor, giggity, with a $5 says, hell, as an Ripper, got the 3-book bundle over the weekend. Can't wait to read them. Nice.
Be there soon enough.
Mr. Hat with a $2. Isom sucks. MCU shill. Don't worry, they wouldn't buy it anyway. And they also pirated the MCU films.
Yeah, they don't buy anything. Mines or fucking Marvels.
Yeah, not in, mate. CJ with a $5 says, any chance we can get a stream with you two, Gary and Mark Millar? I'd love to see you guys talk about the comic book industry. Would love to.
I'm down.
Yeah. Let's get after Christmas and when all that's settled down, I'll reach out to people probably again like Mark and set something up. This Tuesday on Real BBC on Gary's channel, we're actually having Graham Nolan back on, but we're going to be talking Godzilla -1. So it's going to be a monster mash on Tuesday. But yeah, it's great to have wonderful people like Graham and Chuck and Kelly and Matt Wagner and obviously Mark. Absolute legends within industry. Legit legends in the industry that you can just reach out to. Wonderful people.
Yeah.
Mando with a $5 says, please tell Eric about Nightcrawler's new origin.
All right.
Yeah.
Fucking gay.
Graph Web with a just self-inflicted gunshot wounds to the head. To the head. And then they turn around and go, why would you shoot me?
Why would you do that?
Yeah. Graph Web with a $2. For fuck's sake, cancel Disney Plus. I have. But I appreciate being reminded. I do. Greyman with a 5 Swiss says, Ripper, I want to pitch a show for the Rippaverse. It's a Star Wars Jerry Springer show called Luke, I'm Not the Father.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure they wouldn't allow me to do that. But,
okay. I think we're going to go on a Neddy no-no on that one. That's when Juggernauts gifted 20 memberships to the stream. Thank you so much, man. Ronaldo A. Ramirez has been a bard for 10 months. Sheepsidian has been a sorcerer for a month. Covering a Rippaverse in honest faith would be them saying, yeah, we fucked up. And that scares them. Oh, well, we're cooking and eating over here.
Damn right.
We're cooking and eating good over here.
Damn right.
Don't worry. Don't worry what they're doing wrong. Focus on what you're doing right. Don't waste your energy. Don't waste the energy. Star Trekker 58 with a membership for 42 says, I feel sorry for the poor piggies being associated with the scum of comics. There you go. Got Ison 1 and my Alphacore on the way. Thanks for your hard work. That's where I had this. That's where the jump happened. I found where the jump happened. John Platt gifted a membership to the stream. John, thank you. Taker 610 with a $5 says, as it's a good thing Perry Chan is Canadian. If he continues to portray you as heavy in FNT memes, you can have him jailed for dead weighting you.
Dead waiting.
I'll eat a couple of burgers over Christmas and they'll be fine. Crit Nature with the 5 twisters. Fantastic story, Eric. Best line in the comic for me is you have the right to remain stupid. Yeah.
You do.
Yeah. Lionel Polo with a $2 says Joe did his thing on those pages. Some great artwork.
He's killer, man.
Some really good artwork in there. Big Bad Lone Wolf with a $10 says Galvin is an amazing villain. Accepts powers being like a muscle opens up so much. I woke up at 3 a.m. realizing it works with villains too. Headcase can't possibly comment. Headcase Laboratory with a $2 did a small review of ISOM 1 and 2. We'll do Alphacore. There you go. Raytor 03 with a $50. Doesn't even say anything. Doesn't need to say anything. Just drops it, sticks it on the counter. Didn't even look me in the eye, but I felt it in my pants. Walked out. Woof. The Buster with a $5 says, got my 4-cover bundle. Afraid to open it. Don't want to crease them. No, you gotta get your reader out. You gotta get in. You gotta get stuck into that. You can keep the others looking nice and fucking fine. But you got to crack into your reader.
Oh, yeah.
Brent Wolf has become a member at the Witcher level. Thank you, Brent. And No Bert with a $5 says, how many DMCA strikes is Eric and Co at now?
Take it over my lawyers. Take it over my lawyers.
And that was their first super chat on the stream, so thank you. And Brass Monkey slipping in with a 5 gifted memberships as well. Dude, thank you. Holy shit, dude. Nearly 3 hours.
It's crazy. Flies, doesn't it? Fucking
Just
flies.
Like that.
Golly.
Like that.
We
Good
were
show.
like 2.5 hours in before we even read a damn super chat. That's crazy.
Yeah, I know.
That's pretty good.
It's just where it goes. It's where it takes you, man.
That's true.
Will Plottiger with a 15-month bad as well. Thank you, Will. Appreciate you. Eric, before we go then, anything you'd like to plug? Obviously, Alphacore still going.
Yes, Alphacore still going. It will, excuse me, 20th, I believe, is going to be the last date of the campaign window. However, you can get all your items, guarantee your items.
Of January.
January, yes, of January.
Not December.
So over a month. Not this month. So you can go ahead and get in if you have not already. We got a lot of stuff planned, man. Stuff I'm about to get to work on actually right now of NDA stuff. There's a lot happening with the Riververse, man. That is extremely exciting. So I want to thank everybody for the support. If you have not supported already, books will be around. We got a great little, this is why the campaign format's awesome, because you get to get in on some of the bundles it is. So if you're new to the Riververse, $65, you can get ISOM 1, you can get ISOM 2, you can also get the new Alphacore. So, it's a hell of a deal. It's over 300 pages of story, or 300 pages there. So go get in on that if you have not already, man. It's been a wonderful day, though, today, man. It was finally first time back in like over a week, obviously, since we didn't do last week for ripping the Silverback. So glad to be back, man. This was fucking fun again. You know how we get going, man. And next thing you know, it's 2.5 hours and we ain't read a super chat, man. So it works. I love it.
I know that's what happens. Happens, you know?
Yeah, it happens.
You can always tell when there's a good convo going. SJ Almighty with a £1.50 diamond geezer super sticker. SJ Almighty, you take care, man. Love you, SB. Le Chevalier Delise dropping a 5 Canadian saying, just cuz.
I respect it.
And it looks like there's 2 diamond geezers here because SG Almighty drops another diamond geezer super sticker for £1.50. Thank you. One for thee, one for me. And then Tiss with a $2 says super chat. Also, RIP as I know, gone too soon. But AIAS is here to continue the fight for work. I was gonna say Friday Night Tights. No, because I ain't in Friday Night Tights for a month. There you go. So I'm gonna be don't know. I don't know. I don't think I've got any commitments tomorrow. I do. It's Friday, so I can't. But I might drop a Dark Souls 3 stream tomorrow.
Ooh, I've been watching that, man. It's been fun watching you play that, man.
Oh, and because I haven't played Dark Souls 3 for a few days now, I've been doing stuff. Last night, I recorded a 20-minute video of me playing it off stream, which I did upload onto the gaming channel. So it is there. So there is 20 minutes of unseen footage, which is up on the gaming channel. I don't know if I've actually flicked it live or not. Let me just have a quick check. Oh, by the way, did you see the trailer for that Civil War? Oh yeah, it's public. Yeah, it's live. Did you see the trailer for the Civil War, the new film coming out? It's California and Texas are fighting together against America. Yeah,
That would never fucking
realistic fucking thing I've ever.
that would never. Texas
No.
would fight California.
Texas invading California. I can see.
Yeah, that would never
There is
fucking
a
happen.
sniper, right? Dude, sniper, green hair, pink, turquoise, pink nail varnish on his.
Yeah, that's nobody believes that.
No. Headcase Laboratory with the $2 says we'll do multiple books in later campaign.
You can do that. You can do that. Go for it.
Brent Wolf sliding a quick $50. 50 into the back pocket. Brent.
Damn.
Woof.
It's crazy.
That's some fucking balls there. That's some fucking balls right there. Just sliding it in. SJ Almighty gifting 5 memberships to the stream as well. And Simon says, I gift a membership to the stream. Well, if Simon says, I guess you had to do it. As Simon said. Thank you, everybody, for being so kind, being so generous. Great, Eric. Next week, Ripping the Silverback episode 6 on Eric's channel.
Yes.
Same bat time, different bat channel.
Yeah.
Good to have you back in the land of the living.
Oh man, it feels good to be back. I was out of commission. Here for a while, but I'm back.
There's a lot going on, man. There's a lot going on right now.
Yeah.
But it's all exciting stuff. Forts with the $2 says, as a Texan, California wouldn't stand a chance. Dude, I could walk into California tomorrow.
Yeah, take it over.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's true. That's
home.
probably very realistic.
With my drum and my fife. My musket, fife, and drum. Yeah, they ain't fighting back. Fucking soy boys. So yeah, probably tomorrow we're gonna have a Dark Souls. Maybe get balls deep into Dark Souls. Yeah. And then we'll see where the rest of the month takes us because we're coming up to Christmas. So we'll see you next week for Ripping the Silverback on Eric's channel. Until then, you take wait a minute. Whoa. Dial it back. Massive thank you to everyone who came to watch today. Over 1,600 people, 1,700 odd people. Massive thank you. Mods, thank you very much indeed for giving up your free time. I've seen you in the chat. Thank you so much. I do appreciate you a lot. Everybody who super chatted, everybody who remembered, gifted a membership. Thank you so much for supporting the channel. Now, we'll be back with some more stuff very soon. You take care. Bye for now.